Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Kakashi helps Naruto to pass Chunin exams part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. October 10th, 8:11:00 p.m. Courtyard. Normally on the night such as this, you would think that kids would be asleep at this time. That case would have to provide a slight exception for a 6-year-old boy by the name of Naruto Uzumaki. Now if Naruto had parents, he would have not been out her, and the fact that he was the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune was not helping his situation, especially since he was being chased by a slightly drunken mob filled with ninja and civilians alike. 6 years ago, a great battle was fought. The Kyuubi no Kitsune was mysteriously summoned to destroy Konohagakure, but the Yondaime Hokage, Minato Namikaze, was able to defeat it by using a sealing jutsu, but sadly at the cost of his own life. He was forced to seal within Naruto, his only son. Naruto ran into an abandoned cave with the mob right at his heels. Not noticing the forbidden sign, the boy was so terrified that he was constantly looking behind his shoulder every few minutes, and that cost him. There was a rotting floorboard that was in front of him, and when he ran on it, the floor gave away, making the young boy fall with a scream into the darkness. The scream was heard outside of the cave, and one asked, what happened? Demon boy fall through hole. Another answered in a drunken slur, he dead now, let's go. The mob dispersed back to their home, idiotically believing that the Bane of Konoha was dead. But as it turns out, the boy was only unconscious, and what was inside the place he fell through would spark a new journey. It would upgrade Naruto Uzumaki into the ultimate ninja upgrade. A few hours later, Naruto woke up groggily and disorientated. Ugh, my head, he said as he got up and touched the side of his head gingerly. Blood dried on the side and made his bangs cling to his forehead and temple. Great, another birthday and they leave me in a different place. Now where the hell am I? The boy thought to himself. He stood up and limped towards the wall to lean against the wall and find his way out. He ventured into the dark corridor until he saw a torch lit up and another, lighting the way to a door that had caution tape over it. What is this place? Naruto asked. The boy moved under the tape and opened the door, which moved slowly with a loud creaking sound. Next, the boy noticed several notes thrown askew, jars filled with misty water and preserved organs. But there was one jar that caught Naruto's eye. It was filled with gray, shiny matter, and Naruto looked around to find a ladder in a corner and pushed it towards the counter. He reached up to grab the jar and struggled to open it with his hands, but little did he know was that the gray matter was reacting to the movement. Naruto's ministrations caused the jar to shatter, and at that moment, the ladder buckled. The Jinchuriki fell to the ground for the second time of this night, and all he saw before he passed out was the gray matter coming at him. October 11th, 8:00 Konoha Hospital. 10 a.m. Naruto woke up in a hospital bed and his personal nurse, Saya Tanaka, came in. She was only 16 years old and one of the few who thought Naruto was a hero for keeping the Kyuubi at bay each day. Good morning, Saya-chan, Naruto said sleepily. The young nurse smiled sweetly at Naruto. Hello, Naruto-chan, are you feeling better? The blonde looked at her and replied, Yeah, I feel much better. Actually, I think that this is the best that I have ever felt in my entire life. Maybe it is because that you are her, Saya-chan. Saya had a light blush from Naruto's compliment and giggled a bit. Oh, Naruto, you are too much. Saya's smiling face turned to a frown for a moment. The ANBU found you in an underground lab. Inu-san tracked you and found you unconscious with matted blood on your head. Naruto's mind wandered to the events that occurred last night, especially with the mysterious gray goop, but he absent-mindedly dismissed it. Since I am fully healed, can I go now? Naruto asked sweetly. Sure, come on, I will sign you out and then we can go see the Hokage. Hokage-ji-san? Naruto, you should respect him, he is the Hokage. But he is old. Besides, I do respect him. Respect's earned, not given, unlike those old farts he calls advisors believe. Saya giggled as she held Naruto's hand as she finished signing him out, and the two strode off to the Hokage's office. As they reached the secretary's desk, the lady smiled at Saya, but when she saw Naruto, she said in a crisp tone, I am sorry, but the Hokage is busy at the moment. Is that so, Kimiko-san? An elderly voice called out. Gigi-san! Naruto cried out. He ran to hug Hiruzen Sarutobi, the Sandaime Hokage, at his waist. Kimiko paled in fear while Saya smirked at the woman's misfortune. How are you, Naruto-chan? The god of shinobi asked. I am fine, Gigi-san, I can't explain it, but I feel so much better now. Sarutobi smirked. Maybe it is because of Saya-chan. Saya blushed, but Naruto shook his head. No, that happens every day. I mean, like I feel all energized and stuff. The professor smiled at the boy. Sleep can re-energize the boy, maybe that is the cause. Now come along, you don't want to miss your first day at the academy, do you? The boy vigorously shook his head from side to side and ran off towards the academy, dragging Saya with him. Come on, Saya-chan, let's hurry or we will be late. Okay, I am coming, Naruto-kun. As the two went ahead, Sarutobi rounded on Kimiko. I am very disappointed in you, Kimiko. I thought that you would be better than that. The secretary's job is to allow all civilians and ninja to see me for their concerns. That includes Naruto-kun. Sir, Sarutobi silenced the woman with his hand raised. I don't want to hear your excuses. I know the routine with several of my former secretaries. Taking your anger out on Naruto is not the answer. He is not the beast that is sealed deeply within him. Naruto is just like any other child, innocent, energetic, curious, and full of life. If he were a demon, this place would be unpopulated at the time he would walk. He turned away. This is only the first warning. 3 strikes and you are out, Kimiko-san. Remember, you are not the only one who has lost someone to the fox, and I hate the beast for it. But not Naruto. He is the hero of this village. Do well to remember that or you will regret it. Academy. Now remember, Naruto, be polite. Making a good first impression on your teachers will help you in the future, Saya said to him in a serious tone. Okay, Saya-chan, I will, Naruto replied as he hugged her tightly, and Saya whispered in his ear, if they are not polite to you at all, I give you permission to prank them good. A mischievous glint appeared in Naruto's eyes as he said, right, Saya-chan. He ran off inside the building and Sarutobi appeared as he said, you have just unleashed hell on those poor teachers, Saya. Some of them need to lighten up or deserve it, plus he sees it as training. Running from Anbu, Jonin and Chunin helps him build his speed and agility, and doing that actual task teaches him stealth. That is why I encourage him. Saya said, I believe that Naruto-kun will be a great ninja and maybe someday, a great Hokage. Indeed he will, Saya, indeed he will. I have a feeling that is not all that you feel either. Saya blushed a bit, and Sarutobi said, you like him, don't worry about the age thing. My third girlfriend before I met Bayako was only 13 years apart from me, plus he will be a ninja. Saya looked down at her feet, and Hiruzen chuckled a bit at the huge blush on her face. Naruto the boy moved quickly inside of the classroom and found students rushing to sit by friends. He soon found a seat and saw that the person next to it was a bit shy. She had pink hair and jade green eyes. She also had a red ribbon tied in her hair to keep back her bangs from her forehead. Hello, I am Uzumaki Naruto. What is your name? Haruno S. Sakura. Nice to meet you, Naruto-kun. That is a pretty name, the Jinchuriki said with a smile. I hope that we can be great friends, Sakura. It will be fun to be in this class with you. The timid girl blushed. Arigato. Huh. You gotta speak up some, Sakura-chan. I can barely hear you. A new voice said. I keep telling her that too. Naruto looked to see a blonde-haired girl with pale blue eyes and she introduced herself. Hi, I am Yamanaka Ino. I see that you have met Sakura-chan. I am Uzumaki Naruto. Nice to meet you. Ino moved into the seat on Sakura's right-hand side and asked Naruto, are those whiskers birthmarks? Yeah, they are. Just then more students came in and Naruto noticed that his friends Shikamaru Nara, a lazy genius, and Choji Akimichi, his pleasantly plump, loyal friend, came in. Next, he recognized the Hyuga girl who he faintly remembered saving her from teasing bullies. Alright, class, settle down, the teacher said. The students looked to see a brown-haired man with his hair in a ponytail, and a large scar running across the bridge of his nose, along with a silver-haired man with a kind smile. The brown-haired man said, I am Irika Yumino and this is your assistant teacher, Mizuki Tuji. We will be your teachers for the next 4 years. First, we will start off with introductions. Soon, one by one, the students introduced themselves in the front of the class. Okay, now we will be testing your physical endurance. We will be running laps, doing pull-ups, sit-ups, squats, and then speed and agility training. Follow us to the gymnasium, please. Gymnasium, 10:45 a.m. Mizuki said, Okay, now each of you will run through this obstacle course to test your speed and agility. First up, Aburaim Shino. Each of the kids ran through the obstacle course with an average score except Shikamaru, who had the slowest time because he was too lazy to do it. Uchiha Sasuke, Irika called out. The girls, including Sakura and Ino, blushed as an eager boy with a dark long-sleeved shirt and brown shorts came into view. He wore the Uchiha crest on his back and had onyx eyes. Instantly you would think he was a bit emo, but his eyes held so much life in them. You may begin, Mizuki cried out. The boy shot off through the obstacle course. He weaved through the hallway where tennis balls were being fired, flying around his head and body, and then he jumped over the mud pit to grab a hold of the rock climb. The young Uchiha scampered up like a monkey and then jumped on the swing to haul him over to the finish line where a crystal orb was waiting for him. Sasuke grabbed the orb and moved through Irika, who was waiting about a quarter of a mile away. 8 minutes and 43 seconds, you were close to beating the record, Sasuke. Iruka said with a smile. Sasuke nodded and walked back to his classmates with a frustrated look on his face. Why isn't he happy? He got the fastest time out of most of the students here. Naruto thought to himself. Uzumaki Naruto, Mizuki said. Naruto stepped forward and readied himself at the starting line. You may begin, Mizuki shouted. Naruto sprinted through the hallway where the tennis balls were being launched, then leaped over the mud pit to grab a ledge on the rock climbing wall, and used his momentum to escalate himself up on the top of it. Then he swung himself down and moved to grab the crystal orb. Next, he sprinted toward Iruka and stopped in front of the man. Iruka had a shocked look at his face and said, I am possible 4 minutes and 45 seconds, Naruto. You just broke the record. Naruto said in a shocked tone, What? I did. But I wasn't even going all that fast. Iruka asked, Did you have any weights that you took off? No, I have never worn weights before. Do you know how to access your chakra? Chakra? What is that? Naruto asked. Iruka said, Well, that is strange, you were mostly a blur to your classmates. Even I, a Chunin, had a bit of difficulty tracking you. Naruto thought, what is happening to me? Is it because of that gray matter I found last night? The Jinchuriki was lost in his thoughts as Iruka proceeded to teach them history and Mizuki taught them the basics of taijutsu. He didn't even notice the glare of Sasuke because he broke the record that his older brother, Itachi, held, which was 6 minutes and 49 seconds. Naruto's apartment, October 11, aka 8:00 p.m. under 5 minutes. I did the obstacle course and broke the record. How is that possible? How did I manage to do that? What did that gray matter do to me? Is it some sort of power boost or something? Naruto asked himself as he ate his ramen. I could tell you, Naruto-sama, a voice said in his head. What the hell? Who are you, where are you, and how am I able to hear you in my head? Naruto said, looking a bit startled. The feminine voice said, This would be better if you were asleep. Hold on 1 second, Master Naruto. Program execute forced sleep procedure in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Instantly, Naruto's eyes began to droop and he slowly fell asleep with his ramen in front of him. Naruto woke up and asked, Where am I? In your mind, a gravelly voice said. This was not the voice that contacted me earlier. Naruto thought, then he asked nervously, Who are you? Where are you? Behind you, Naruto. Naruto slowly turned to look behind him to see 2 glowing red cat-like eyes and large white teeth twisted in a sinister smile. Naruto froze. What the hell are you? Me? I am the Kyuubi no Kitsune, you pathetic human. Now come and release me from this infernal prison, mortal. Then an angelic voice said, Naruto-sama, I would advise you not to release the Kyuubi, for you will lose your humanity if you do. Naruto looked to his left to see a pale-skinned woman with green eyes and dark black hair, wearing a white dress. Who are you, miss? And why do you call me master? The woman replied, I am Serenity, your AI or artificial intelligence. What? When you touched that gray matter last night, I was able to absorb myself into your body through your wounds. The matter is called nanites, which are microscopic little robots that can help the body work efficiently. The reason that we were never used was because the patients died shortly after they were injected with a small sample. Naruto asked, So why am I alive now and who made you? Serenity replied, The reason is mainly because of your healing factor from the Kyuubi no Kitsune, which allows us to adjust inside you. The one who made us was Orochimaru, the snake Sannin. The Kyuubi roared, Do not ignore me, release me from this infernal prison and I will think about sparing your miserable life. Naruto ignored the fox as he asked another question, So do you know everything about me and what is happening with my body, like my lineage or something? Yes, your body is being enhanced to its full potential, making you stronger, faster, sharper, flexible, etc. As to knowing about you, yes, I do. Do you know my parents? Accessing cross-referencing DNA. Your parents are Kushina Uzumaki, the Crimson Princess and former Jinchuriki of our friend over there, and Minato Namikaze, the Yellow Flash and Yondaime Hokage. Naruto was shocked at the fact that his mother was a Jinchuriki, and even more that the Yondaime, the one who sealed the Kyuubi inside of him, was his own father. So you are the spawn of the accursed woman. I thought I would recognize you, for her attitude was much like you, and the bastard Yondaime is your father. I will definitely kill you when I released. Naruto growled out in anger, Shut up. The Kyuubi was surprised at the level of hatred that Naruto possessed towards him. So I am the son of the Yondaime, and my mother was the Jinchuriki for you. The old man lied to me about knowing my parents. The villagers and some ninjas hated me for your attack, and I have been alone because of your damn actions. Serenity, is there any way to control the Kyuubi? Yes, but you will have to release the seal in order to control his chakra without any drawbacks. Furthermore, the way you are, you cannot survive the battle against the Kyuubi. You must be at Jonin level to battle it. Naruto growled, fine, but I don't want anything to do with you now, Kyuubi, so until the day I take your chakra, you will be silent now, be gone from here. Naruto, with his young mind, pushed back the Kyuubi into the crevasses of your mind. Naruto! I will kill you! Kyuubi roared out. Naruto turned to Serenity. Well, I will have to train harder to defeat that fox, and I will need a lot of jutsu to work with. Serenity said, of course, Naruto-sama, but I would like to inform you about the seal. It seems that your parents infused a bit of their chakra inside you. Would you like to access it now? No, I believe that I have enough things on my plate for one night, plus I think I might kill my father before he says anything to me. For now I will not say anything to them until the advantage falls to me to reveal my knowledge. What are your abilities, Serenity? Serenity replied, my abilities are to scan and help you learn jutsu to master it completely, also to regulate your chakra throughout your network system as well as changing anything inside of your body, blood type, adrenaline levels, etc. There is more information, but I can't access them at this time, mainly if Orochimaru was able to have a successful experiment, he wanted it to progress slowly to be able to control him better. I am guessing that my weaknesses are electricity. Yes, if you are hit with the right unjutsu, my abilities would be hindered greatly for an unspecified time. Naruto nodded, good, I need you to extract some of Kyuubi's chakra, I have a feeling that we will need it in the near future. Yes, Naruto-sama, was her answer. The Jinchuriki allowed the Kyuubi's cage to appear once again, and he approached it once again only for its claws to come out to attack him, but Naruto grabbed the end. You should know something, Kyuubi. One's mind is the powerful weapon a person can wield. You are living in my mind and in here. I am God until I release that cage of yours. Naruto broke the claw off of Kyuubi, causing it to roar in pain, and looked at it as it dissipates into red-orange chakra that Serenity sent out bits of herself to collect and store. Then Naruto allowed for the Kyuubi to regenerate its missing appendage. You will pay for this pain you have caused me, Naruto. Naruto looked at him and retorted, shut up, you know nothing of pain, you are just a manifestation of chakra. The only thing that you can experience is anger, rage, lust, destruction, greed, that is all you know. Now until I have the power of a Jonin, you will shut up and leave me alone. When I have the power, I am coming for your fuzzy ass. After meeting the sinister Kyuubi no Kitsune and the artificial intelligence Serenity, Naruto was conflicted with many emotions. Anger, sadness, pain, and happiness were among the ones that were felt the most. So I am a Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune. My mother was the second holder. My father exchanged his life to seal it within me and protect the village. Sarutobi-Jiji-san lied to me, knowing about my parents and the Kyuubi, and I have nanites that boost my body to its highest potential, making me faster, stronger, smarter, and more durable than most people. He thought. The boy pondered, I am not going to tell the old man any of this except maybe the knowledge of the Kyuubi. Then the Jinchuriki let out a laugh. Funny, everyone is practically worshipping the clan who gave birth to the cause of Kyuubi's release, and the savior and son of the one who sacrificed his life for me, and this forsaken village is treated like a pariah. Naruto got up and declared, well, let's give the crowd what they want, right? After Naruto's declaration, he threw himself into studying and training. For him to avert drawing attention to himself, he made sure that he was in the middle and developed a happy mask to fool everyone, even the Sandaime himself. Also, that was the last beating he had at the age of 6, mostly because the civilians and some of the ninja were beaten to unconsciousness due to Naruto's prowess at taijutsu. He learned every single jutsu in the library and mastered them completely due to Serenity able to replay the hand signs in his mindscape and provide the guidance in learning it. In result of that, Naruto became a bit aloof to everyone, and his classmates were wary of him except his friends, Shikamaru Nara, Choji Akimichi, Hinata Hyuga, and Kiba Inuzuka. Something in his soul told him that these four would be his true friends until death, and so far they were. His other friend-turned acquaintances, Sakura and Ino, ignored him mostly because of the current heartthrob Sasuke Uchiha. About 6 or 7 years ago, the Uchiha except his mother, Mikoto Uchiha, and Sasuke were killed by his own brother, Itachi. Naruto was a bit saddened at this event. Itachi was one of the few Uchihas that he respected besides Mikoto. Due to an unknown genjutsu cast by his brother, Sasuke's mind was traumatized by the event and fixated on training to confront his brother and kill him personally. Mikoto was trying her best to lead him on the right path, and Naruto remembered the day he met her on the verge of despair. Flashback 2 years ago, Mikoto was devastated. She lost her friends, brothers, sisters, and her husband all in one night, killed by her own flesh and blood, her prodigy son. On top of that, her son was changed and began obsessed with training to the brink of unconsciousness to make sure that he was the stronger one when he faced Itachi. Fixated on joining her kinsman in death, she gripped the kunai in her hands and prepared to stab herself in the heart. She moved her arms, and as the point neared her skin, a small hand stopped its descent by holding on her forearm. "What?" she said in surprise. "Killing yourself is not going to solve the problem that Itachi-san killed your family. Plus you still have Sasuke-san to take care." Mikoto-sama. She looked behind her to see Naruto's cerulean eyes and a sad smile. He continued, "Plus my mother would want you to be stronger than that, any?" Mikoto's eyes widened. "You know?" "I do. I have known for 4 months now." Mikoto bowed her head. "I am sorry that I couldn't do much for you, Naruto, but how you did. A certain fox told me, trust me, he is such a jackass. I have no idea how my mother dealt with him in the past for all those years. I am this close to making him into an Easter bunny with his mouth sewed shut," Naruto said as he thought about the kyubi in his stomach. Mikoto giggled through her tears. "Thank you, Naruto-kun. Thank you for making me see the light again. Funny, you are just like your mother." Naruto smiled. "You are welcome, Mikoto-sama." Her dark ebony eyes met his and she kissed him fully on the lips on pure impulse. Naruto's eyes widened a bit at her boldness, but was not sure that if breaking away from it was a good idea in her emotional state, so he kissed back. Besides, when will it be the next time an older woman kisses him, the pariah of Konoha? A dark-haired woman sneezed and her husband said, "Tsunami, are you alright?" Tsunami answered, "I am alright, Kaizoku-kun. I think someone is talking about me." "Probably your father in his sleep." Gambling casino. A blonde-haired woman sneezed as she pulled the lever, and the slots showed a grape, an apple, and an orange. "God damn it!" she cried out. Konoha. When their lips parted, Naruto said, "Wow, that was amazing." Mikoto was a bit shocked and covered her lips. "I am sorry. I didn't mean I mean." Naruto smiled. "It is alright. You were emotional and it takes away the worry of me having to lament on my first kiss if I happen to die on a mission." Mikoto said, "Glad you like it." "Of course, you are a beautiful woman, who wouldn't like it?" Mikoto blushed a bit, and Naruto said, "Besides, if I did have a relationship with you, Mikoto-chan, I don't think that Sasuke would approve of it at the moment, that is." Mikoto's face turned red. "But I am old enough to be your mother." "Oh, trust me, I have seen people old enough to be my grandmother with a 21-year-old, now that was a mess you don't want to see." Mikoto replied, "But you are right, if he was like Itachi, he would freak, but Sasuke was more inclined to my so-called husband, Fugaku." "I take it that you didn't like him?" "No, I fell in love with him, but then he changed after the village was becoming distant after the Kyuubi attacked the village. Madara Uchiha was able to control the fox once when he fought against Hashirama Senju, so the suspicions aroused around our clan because of that factor." Naruto was surprised. He was able to control the Kyuubi? Yes, but so could Hashirama Senju with his Mokutan bloodline. The only Senju that is left is Tsunade, the slug Sannin, and she is out of the village, plus she doesn't have the Mokutan bloodline. Therefore the suspicion was on the Uchiha clan. Soon my husband started planning and tension grew between him and Itachi after Itachi's friend, Shursui, mysteriously drowned in the river. Then Itachi came and attacked the clan." Naruto said, "I see, so Madara was the one who sent the Kyuubi. The damn fox was right." "What? But he is dead, hell, he should be twice as old as the third Hokage." "Think about it, Madara and Hashirama were the only one who could be able to control the Biju, including Kyuubi. Somehow my mother was weakened and Madara was able to release and control the Kyuubi. That explains the fact that the Kyuubi appeared out of nowhere. I am guessing that my mother was attacked at my birth, since that would be the most vulnerable at that time, correct?" Mikoto said, "Why yes, when she had you, the seal that she had would weaken and the Kyuubi tried its best to get out. She told me that before she had you. Heh, she even asked me if giving birth would hurt, but it doesn't explain how Madara is alive." "You said that Itachi's eyes were different, right?" "Yes, somehow he acquired the Mangekyo Sharingan." "It is a theory, but what if Madara somehow got another level, much higher than the Mangekyo Sharingan? Do you know the history of Madara, or did he have any siblings?" "Yes, he did. His brother was Izuna Uchiha. They both were competing against each other and both of them acquired the Mangekyo Sharingan as well. But Madara's eyes dimmed and he turned blind, then Izuna died." Naruto sat and thought for a moment. That is it, Madara must have took his brother's eyes when he died and had them implanted into him, making the eyes adjusted to his own and got more powerful eyes, making him immortal in a sense, maybe. Mikoto said, "Is that even possible? If it is, we must report this to Hokage-sama." "Like I said, it is just a theory, Mikoto-chan. We don't know anything yet and I would have to explain everything to Jiji-san. We have to have proof to confirm it. So for now we will keep this to ourselves. In the meantime, we will need to train hard. I will need to train against the Sharingan as well as learning more jutsu." To defeat Madara or his successor, I will need to be able to control the Sharingan. Mikoto nodded. Alright, Naruto-kun. Naruto smiled and gave her a chaste kiss on the lips. There, something to remember me by until I figure something out to help you out. Mikoto said, You are lucky that you are only 10 or I would have jumped you. For some reason, Mikoto-chan, I wouldn't mind that at all. Then the Uzumaki disappeared into the night, while Mikoto returned back to her house with a small smile on her face as she drifted off to sleep. Flashback ends. Now, Naruto was seen in class, sleeping. All of the information spewing from Iruka's mouth was just mainly review for the final exam. He decided to observe the classroom. Everyone was mostly the same except Sasuke. Over the years, Sasuke became cold and aloof due to Itachi, and the council's interference was not helping Mikoto out either. He became an angst persona and often blamed his mother for his problems. For that, Naruto held resentment in his heart for that. His former friends, Sakura and Ino, were still loyal fangirls to Sasuke despite of all of Naruto's indirect efforts to encourage them to train. The only way Ino trained was when her father forced her to. Hinata would often steal glance at Naruto, and occasionally stuttered when she was nervous. Naruto! Iruka shouted. What do you want, Iruka-sensei? I want to pay attention to the lesson. To a pointless review of everything I have learned for the past 4 years, thanks, but I will pass on that. Then what is the Yandame's most famous technique? Which one? The Rasengan or the Hiraishin, because both of them were used fairly frequently. Naruto answered lazily. Who are the Sannin? Jiraiya, Tsunade and Orochimaru, former students of the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi. The only reason why they got the title was because they were the only survivors who battled against Hanzo of the Salamander, and lived. Also, Jiraiya is a known pervert, Tsunade sucks at gambling, and Orochimaru is a traitor and likes to touch little boys. Show. Hashirama Senju, co-creator of Konohagakure along with Madara Uchiha, possessed the Mokuton bloodline. Are you done yet? Iruka was silent and Naruto took it as a yes and put his head down once again. Soon he woke up just as Iruka said, Now we will have sparring matches to determine the Rookie of the Year and Best Kunoichi of the Year. Naruto thought to himself, finally something interesting. The classmates filed out in order to get the matchups. As the boys and girls battled it out, it soon came down to Naruto and Sasuke. It is down to you two. Naruto, Sasuke, you will fight. The same rules apply. If you run out of the ring, you lose 1 point. You hit your opponent, that is a point. First one to get 3 hits win and become the Rookie of the Year. Iruka said. Both boys nodded and slipped into their stances, and the Chunin shouted, Begin! Sasuke said to the Uzumaki, You can't defeat me, Uzumaki, I am stronger than you. Say that after you win the match, Sasuke-san. You are overestimating your strength here. Humph, what do you know about strength? A lot more than you. I know how to gain more power through friends. You have no one to lean on, and that is why you will lose. It seems you have forgotten how to gain true strength, no less to wipe your own ass. Sasuke shot forward and attacked Naruto, but the Jinchuriki ducked under his cross. The Uchiha sent a kick to the Jinchuriki's head, but the Nanite enchanted boy caught his leg and lifted it up to flung him to the side. Sasuke corrected himself by landing on his feet and ran to give Naruto a flying kick, but Naruto caught it. You are too slow, use your speed instead, that is your strength, not brute power, Sasuke-san. Shut up and stop blocking. Naruto replied, but that would defeat the purpose of the exercise. You can't expect an enemy ninja to just take your shots. Sasuke sent a flurry of punches only for Naruto to block his shots, and then Naruto decided to end this charade by moving himself in Sasuke's guard and attacked him. The boy moved forward and gave the Uchiha left cross, causing the arrogant boy's head to snap to the right. Next, the Jinchuriki rushed in and sent a right elbow to the face. Sasuke managed to block the elbow strike to his head while making a fatal mistake. He used 2 hands to do it, allowing Naruto the opportunity to use his left hand to embed itself into Sasuke's gut. The boy stumbled back, and then Naruto sent the back of his fist into Sasuke's neck and then did a spinning back fist to Sasuke's head with his other arm, effectively knocking him out. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki. The fangirls excluding Ino and Sakura protested, No way. Sasuke-kun couldn't be defeated. The idiot must have cheated. Yeah, he is an idiot, only an idiot. Iruka rubbed his temples, for the umpteenth time, Will you shut the hell up? The Uchiha was brought down swiftly and he is even unconscious, plus I am a censor, so I would know if chakra was being used at all, and Naruto hasn't done any ninjutsu or genjutsu. Wake up and face reality, Sasuke Uchiha lost the match. Then he turned to Naruto. Congratulations, Naruto, you are the Rookie of the Year. Give the title to Sasuke-san. Then one girl asked, why? Are you admitting to cheating? No, because I don't want the title to go to my head. Besides, now that Sasuke knows that I can beat him, he will begin to abhor the title until he beats me. As for the cheating, we are fucking ninja, we are supposed to cheat. Next, the battle for the Kunoichi of the Year was underway, but mostly everyone decided to ignore the battles since they were mostly catfights and shouting matches since the majority of the girls were fangirls. Needless to say, Hinata became the Kunoichi of the Year, which she gracefully accepted since the accomplishment would please her stoic father. Alright, you are dismissed. Tomorrow will be your graduating exam, so be sure to review the Henge, Kawarimi and Bunshin, Irika said. Then the class has dispersed while Naruto took the courtesy of taking Sasuke back to his house, plus the fangirls were starting to creep him out with those weird looks they were giving the unconscious Uchiha. Serenity, have you found the problem to the reason why I can't utilize the Bunshin no Jutsu? Naruto asked telepathically. The amount of chakra that you are using for the Bunshin no Jutsu is overloading it. Even if you applied a little bit using your current chakra control, your chakra, mixed with a minuscule amount of the Kyuubi's chakra, destroys it, slowly causing the dead and pale look on your clones. The AI replied. So I could never use the Bunshin no Jutsu. Oh, well, at least Miko-chan taught me the Tsuchi Bunshin no Jutsu beforehand. Useful for training, Naruto said. Would you like to train in utilizing the Goryoka no Jutsu, Naruto-sama? Yes, please send me the hand signs. Instantly Naruto was given the hand signs and proceeded to practice them until he dropped in the forest. When he woke up, he heard the sounds of kunai clashing against each other. Funny, who would be training this late? I wonder who. Wait a minute, Naruto thought as he focused his hearing to realize that it was Mizuki and Irika. Mizuki and Irika-sensei fighting? That is a surprise, considering that they are friends. Well, all people have their disputes. Let's see if I can settle this. The Nainite's enhanced boy came into the clearing to see that he was right and Mizuki had some big scroll on his back. The silver-haired Chunin was able to knock out Irika and was poised to kill him, but Naruto rushed out to give him a knee strike to the face. You! Mizuki said as he got up, clutching his nose. Yes, me. Going somewhere, Mizuki? Mizuki gave the boy an evil smirk. Good, I could frame you for this if you were dumb like that seal I put on you should have done, you stupid demon fox. Seal? Naruto thought. Serenity, check for all seals excluding the Shiki Fujin. Acknowledge. Scanning. Scan complete. It seems that you have a total of 11 seals on your body. With the Nainites, you broke the 2 Yamanaka seals that inhibits your ability to retain information, for seals hindering your chakra control, a loyalty seal, a vanity seal, a judgment seal, a paralysis seal in case you leave the village without consent, and a death seal. Alright, I will deal with this problem later, Naruto replied to the AI. By then, Mizuki was done with his rant and Naruto attacked the Chunin at full speed. The Chunin stood no chance as Naruto beat him into a pulp. He took the scroll off of the defeated Chunin, and it opened to reveal the Jutsukage Bunshin. Serenity, make a copy of the scroll of seals, please. Analyzing the process will take 30 minutes, and the ANBU Black Ops will be here in only 5 minutes. Then just copy the Kage Bunshin instead. We will copy the scroll another time. That jutsu will be useful to use. Naruto re-rolled the scroll and went over to the unconscious Irika after Serenity finished copying the jutsu description and hand sign. The ANBU arrived and took the scroll while Irika was admitted into the hospital while Naruto sat beside him as he went over the seals on his body. The death seal was planted by Hamura Midokado, the loyalty and paralysis seal were placed by Danzo Shimura, the vanity seal was placed by Mida Haruno, Sakura's aunt, the judgment seal was placed by Fugaku Uchiha, and the chakra inhibitor seals were placed by Mizuki, Shursui Uchiha, Akito Akimichi and Sengoku Inuzuka. The 2 Yamanaka seals were placed by Tora and Taka Yamanaka. Naruto was furious and spent the whole night destroying the seal placed on his body using the nanites that stole some of the Kyuubi's chakra. Then he went into the forest once again, away from the prying eyes of any shinobi or civilian. Naruto began to practice the hand signs until he was able to do it in a blur, then he applied chakra and shouted, Katan, Guryoka no Jutsu. A small fireball shaped like a dragon head appeared and crashed into a tree, scorching the bark. Good, it actually scorched the back, but the jutsu is supposed to be like the Gokakyu though? Unlike the great fireball jutsu, therefore it requires more chakra to produce the desired effect, Naruto-sama. Serenity said in his mind, try again. Naruto nodded and this time, he applied more chakra to the jutsu, Katan, Guryoka no Jutsu. The fireball morphed into a dragon's head and attacked the tree, scorching the tree halfway into it. Better, but that jutsu took a lot. How much? About 25% of your reserves. but the Kage Bunshin takes up only 1%. Your elemental affinities are non-existent, but it proves that fire will be a bit difficult for you to master unless you do elemental manipulation. Naruto was now confused. What is that? According to the library database that was implanted by Orochimaru, every ninja is connected to at least one of the elements: fire, water, lightning, wind, and earth. Through that affinity, you can perform elemental jutsu earlier, some more than others. Unfortunately, Orochimaru made it that I can't access this information until you are at Chunin level at least. Naruto said, clever man, it's okay, Serenity, I do want to be strong, but not too quickly to arouse suspicion about my true self. Now that is it for training, time to rest. The secret heir of the Namikaze clan strode to his home and slept. Next day later, Naruto woke up early and went into the classroom to meditate just as everyone was walking in. Many of them stared at Naruto for a moment, and continued talking. Others tried to get his attention, but to no avail. Soon the Uchiha came in and saw the so-called Dobe sitting down Indian style in his chair with his eyes closed. Hey Dobe, why are you praying? To pass this exam? Naruto said, noting, if you are praying that hard maybe you should quit. Again, Naruto said nothing, making the Uchiha bristle with anger at Naruto's ignorance. The foolish Uchiha attacked Naruto with a punch, but then the Kyuubi jailer caught the punch and cracked one eye open. Please refrain from associating with me, Uchiha. Due to our test, you are going to need that hand of yours to pass, and I would hate to have to explain it to the council why your wrist is broken. Sasuke's face began to grimace as Naruto's hand tightened around his wrist. Now dismiss yourself from my presence. Sasuke moved away as usual, rubbing his wrists, and his fangirls surrounded him. Why are you always antagonizing Sasuke? One of them said angrily at the boy. Yeah, he is the last Uchiha. Now does it look like I really care about his status, and he is not the last Uchiha. He is the last loyal male Uchiha, that is all. A/N, alright, you all know who already passed, just picture that Naruto used the Tsuchi Bunshin. A day later, the classmates that passed the test appeared in the classroom, sat there, chatting. Naruto chose to sit by Hinata as Iruka called out their teams. He had the unfortunate luck of the draw to get the resident emo who always challenged him to a fight, Sasuke Uchiha, and on the upside, he got his old-time friend Sakura, though it would be difficult to make her see the light. Soon they departed for a break. Immediately Sasuke said, fight me, Uzumaki. Look, we already went through this situation for the 433rd time. I will not fight you unless it is deemed necessary. We are supposed to be a team, and I will not have your petty challenges and selfishness get in the way of this. Alright, Sasuke-san? Naruto said in an authoritative, monotone voice. Then he stood up. I'm hungry. Do any of you two like to go to a restaurant? Sasuke huffed, and Sakura was a bit indecisive. She wanted to eat, but then Sasuke would be alone, or she could stay to ask Sasuke to date her or at least acknowledge her, but he would ignore her as always. She made a decision. She chose to go with Naruto to Yakiniki-Q. As they ate, Naruto asked, so Sakura-san, have you been keeping up with your training? The Haruno winced a bit at the suffix, but deep down, she knew that she deserved it. After the Uchiha massacre, she saw Sasuke lose his smile and she wanted to be the one who brought it back. In result, she broke off her friendship with Ino and Naruto to become her rival and ignored the Jinchuriki for the past 4 years, passing him off as annoying. I have been slacking off a bit, but I will try not to bring this team down, Naruto, she replied after she swallowed her meat down her throat. Good to hear, but I am not worried about you that much. Sure, you may be the weakest person on our team in terms of strength, but in mind that is different. I am worried about Uchiha-san. The massacre has seemed to have a deep effect on him more than he let on, Naruto replied. What do you mean? The fact that his sibling destroyed his clan members to only 2 has caused an alarming effect on his mind. I think that Sasuke is like a lone wolf. He believes that he doesn't need anyone but himself, therefore this team is useless. Sakura said, maybe if you fight him, he will be willing to work with us. Naruto shook his head. No, then his inferiority complex will kick in. He wants to be strong, strong enough to kill his brother. I am a measuring tool to him ever since I broke the record, plus I'm physically stronger than Choji and faster than Kiba even in the bestial form. Sakura said, so what do you suggest? I know Sasuke-kun is like that a bit. The one I can actually see who can tolerate and deal with him is you, but he will not notice you if you keep asking him on dates. He likes strong women like his mother, Mikoto-san. Therefore you must not slack off on your own training if you want to win Sasuke's heart and bring back his smile back, Sakura-san. Sakura stuttered, why you think that I can do it? You or Ino-san are the closest to do it, but you seem more determined than her. Naruto said with a smile, okay, looks like it is time to return back to meet our sensei. 2 hours later, Sakura and Naruto's eyes were twitching and Sasuke was just sitting there, brooding and glancing at Naruto once in a while. Finally, a silver-haired man with his headband over his right eye walked in with his orange book in hand. "Oh hail," Sakura said, interrupting. "You are late, sensei." "I'm sorry, I got lost on the road of life." Naruto thought with a sweat drop. That was the worst lie I have ever heard in my existence. The Jonin said, "Meet me on the roof, so we can introduce ourselves and some new scenery." Serenity said to Naruto, "That is Kakashi Hatake, former ANBU commander, codename Inu. He is known as Sharingan no Kakashi or the Copy Ninja. He is said to know over 1,000 jutsu, and his eye was obtained by Obito Uchiha, his own teammate who was killed in action during the Third Great Shinobi War, and his other teammate, Rin, is missing, presumed dead." Naruto thought, so Inu-san is here. Never knew he was so late in crucial things. At least he wasn't late when he was in the ANBU Black Ops. The four of them reached the roof and the genin sat on the steps while Kakashi sat on the railing. "Alright, now let's introduce ourselves, likes, dislikes, hobbies, etc., he said. "How about you start off, sensei? You are kind of suspicious," Sakura said. Kakashi replied, "Fine, I'm Kakashi Hatake. My likes you don't need to know, my dislikes my hobbies I have lots of them, and my dream maybe later." "Your turn." Every genin's thought was he only given out his name. "I'm Sakura Haruno, my likes are Enmitsu and a certain boy, my dislikes are arguing and my rival Ino Yamanaka, my hobbies are sewing and dancing, my dream is to become a great kunoichi." "I'm Naruto Uzumaki, my likes are my friends, training and food, my dislikes are traitors, arrogant people, needless fighting and corrupt people as well as a certain fox, my hobbies are cooking, training and playing the violin or piano, my dream is to become a strong ninja." "Sasuke Uchiha, I have little likes, my dislikes are cowards, my brother and weaklings, my hobbies are training and my dream ambition is to kill a man that has wronged my clan." "You know," Naruto said, "it is no secret that Itachi Uchiha, your brother, killed your clan, Sasuke, you can say it out loud." "Alright, enough, just so you know, you are technically not genin yet," Kakashi said as he noticed that Sasuke was about to retort. "What?" Sakura said in surprise. "Yes, you must pass my test tomorrow, but the scary part is that this test has 66.6% chance of failure. Meet me at training area 3 at 8 in the morning and don't eat, or you will throw up." The team departed and trained a bit in preparation of the test. Naruto slept in since Serenity gave the information that Kakashi was always 2 hours late unless it was for a mission, and ate a breakfast of cereal and buttered toast. When he reached the training area, he found that Sakura and Sasuke were hungry, tired and looking a bit pissed. "Where were you, Naruto? You are never late until now," Sakura said angrily. "I asked around about our sensei after we parted ways. Turns out that he has a chronic lateness thing. He is always late by 2 or 3 hours unless the Hokage requested of him." Naruto somewhat lied. Then the Jinchuriki took off his pack and began to assemble a crossbow, making Sasuke ask, "What are you doing, Uzumaki?" "Setting up traps. Whatever the test is, we are going to have to fight him." Sasuke said, "How do you know that we are going to fight him?" "He obviously said at the training ground, you can't come here unless you are physically training and have a ninja license. Also he told us no to eat anything to make us weaker, more susceptible to getting tired." Naruto explained as he tested the bolt, which sank into the tree that he was aiming at. "Good, now to place them," Naruto said to himself. Using wires, he set up traps at points he hoped that Kakashi wouldn't notice and made sure that his teammates were watching where he put them, so they could avoid it. "Now I will need the two of you to work with me, so we can pass whatever test we got." Sasuke demanded. "Why? You realize that you are weak?" "Uchiha, either you nor I have the power or experience in defeating a Jonin-level ninja. Kakashi-sensei was once the student of the Yondaime Hokage, meaning that he is very powerful. Unless we can put aside our differences, we have absolutely no chance in winning at all." Naruto said. "In terms of fighting, he is much on the level of Itachi, maybe slightly lower. Plus we all don't want to go back to the academy, right?" Sasuke reluctantly nodded and said, "Fine, but if this doesn't work, I am taking him out myself." Agreed. Soon Kakashi came into the clearing. "Yo! You are late!" Sakura shouted. The Jonin ignored her as he pulled out an alarm clock and put 3 bentos on top of the stumps. "Okay, it is almost time," Kakashi said. "Listen up, I am only explaining this once." The 3 genin stood to attention as the silver-haired Jonin held out 2 bells attached to strings and stated, "Your objective to get these bells from me under the time limit. You can use ninjutsu, taijutsu, genjutsu, anything to get these bells from me." Sakura said, "What happened to the one who doesn't get a bell?" That person will be tied to the stumps and watch as the rest of his or her teammates, and myself eat a bento in front of them. When fighting me, I suggest that you come at me with lethal force," Kakashi said seriously. Sasuke said, I bet all of us can kick your ass without breaking a sweat." "So says the Rookie of the Year?" Sasuke bristled in anger and charged at him with a kunai in hand. Naruto's eyes caught Kakashi's movements as the Jonin took the Uchiha's armed hand to place it behind the head of the young genin. I didn't tell you guys to start yet," Kakashi said with a nice smile. "He is very fast, I could hardly keep up with him a bit when he did that maneuver. Well, he is my father's best student due to his record," Naruto thought. The Jonin released Sasuke and said, "Okay, ready, start." Everyone separated into the bushes and Kakashi took out a look as he thought, "Everyone is hidden well, wait, Naruto, he disappeared?" Suddenly the Jonin took a few steps forward and Sakura pulled a string to activate one of Naruto's traps. A crossbow shot 3 bolts, and Kakashi jumped back only for a rope to wrap around his ankle. The Jonin quickly cut the rope off to jump back into another crossbow trap. "How the hell did I not see this at all? All of these traps are well hidden, surely Sasuke nor Sakura couldn't have Naruto," the Jonin thought to himself. Naruto smirked as he signaled Sasuke to join in the fray. Looks like he has figured it out now for the Uchiha to lure over to the real trap while Sakura is setting up the grand finale. The Uchiha leapt in the air as he flipped through hand signs and shouted, "Katan, Gakkaku no Jutsu." Kakashi's eyes widened, even a genin shouldn't be able to do that jutsu yet either. Kakashi replaced himself with a log only for a trap to activate, and shoot out kunai at the Jonin. The Yandame's former student ran into the forest to avoid them and saw Sakura running and he followed her silently. Soon he came into a place where Sakura was muttering, "Where is Sasuke-kun?" Kakashi sighed in relief and said, "Sakura, behind you." She turned to see Kakashi use a seal as he stated, "Megan, Narakumi no Jutsu." Sakura was silent, and then she screamed and fell backwards. Kakashi said, finally something, then he heard Sakura shout, "Fubako Hajin." The explosive tags surrounding Kakashi placed on 4 trees trapped the Jonin, causing him to be unable to move. Then Naruto came out to take the bells and said, "Good job, Sakura, we passed the test regardless that these aren't the real bells." "What?" Sakura said. "That was the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. After one hit he slapped the clone and it dissipates into a puff of smoke. Come on, I sense that Kakashi is at the stumps with Sasuke." "Stump each of you has passed. I am surprised that you 3 were able to work together despite that you didn't get the bells." Sakura said, "Actually, sensei, Naruto was the one who figured out the test and all, plus he did set up the traps." Kakashi thought, so he was the one who did it. Fits his profile as a bit of a strategist like Shikamaru. He must have convinced the 2 of them to work together through some logic. Then he said, "Look at this stone. This stone holds the names of all of the ninjas who gladly gave their lives for this village, so I want you to remember this. Those who break the rules are trash, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than trash." Naruto gave a soft smile. The way he said that was kind of cool. He thought to himself. Kakashi said, "Alright, while we eat I need to know what are your jutsu, strengths and weaknesses." Sasuke said, "I know my family jutsu, which are all Katan jutsu, the academy jutsu, taijutsu. I don't pay attention to my weaknesses." Sakura replied, "I have good chakra control, taijutsu, and only know the academy jutsu. My weaknesses are stamina and arsenal of jutsu." Naruto replied, "I know all of the D-rank jutsu in this village and can perform them without hand signs, some of the C-rank, taijutsu. My weaknesses are genjutsu. Almost practically the whole library is my arsenal as of this moment." Everyone's eyes widened. "What?" "Yeah, after each day, I went to the library to learn jutsu besides the academy jutsu. The D-rank I have in my arsenal such as the Shunshin or Kanashibari are all mastered. All I need is the chakra molding." Sasuke thought, this loser mastered his jutsu to the point of no hand signs. Just how powerful you are, Uzumaki? Kakashi said, "This is particular, but he shouldn't be able to progress this fast with those seals on his mind." Then he said, "Alright then, Team 7 will officially start their mission first thing in the afternoon tomorrow." With that, each of them left to their homes. Naruto was walking home until an ANBU with a Nico mask attached to her face. "Uzumaki-san, Hokage-sama would like to see you for a moment." Naruto nodded silently and the woman took the young ninja to the tower. When they reached and walked inside the door, Sarutobi said, "Ah, Naruto, come in. I assume that you know why you are here." Naruto said quietly, "I assume that Kakashi-sensei notified you that I can do D-rank jutsu without using any hand signs and my extraordinary capabilities?" "Yes, that is correct. You know the whole library, and you can do D-rank jutsu without hand signs." "Yes, I can. It's easier considering that I have no parents and hardly any friends. I didn't have to do anything except train, sleep and go to the academy." Most of them are clan heirs and their parents are still wary of me because of me holding the Kyuubi no Kitsune," Naruto stated. Sarutobi and Nico flinched and the ANBU said, "How do you know about that?" "Mizuki happened to tell me before I beat the shit out of him until he turned into a meat puppet. Now the real question is why you didn't tell me about it. Most of the village's population knows about my secret except me. How the hell does that work?" Sarutobi said, "It was in the best interest that you didn't know about it until you were ready to know." Naruto said with a hint of anger, "Oh, and when was that going to be? When I became a Chunin? Jonin? Umbu? You could have told me when I got out of the academy, so I could have figured out a way to use its power rather than stumbling on it, and going out destroying things like a common child playing with scissors. I could have potentially killed someone by accident." Sarutobi replied, "That could have been one of the scenarios, so I took some precautions in the events of that scenario." "So it was you who authorized those seals on me as well?" Naruto questioned. "What are you talking about?" Sarutobi said. "Don't play dumb with me, Hokage-sama. I am talking about the Yamanaka seals that inhibit my mind. You authorized it, and don't try to lie to me. I have trained myself to sense when people lie. When you lie, your eyes tend to flicker up to the left, indicating that you are story-weaving instead of remembering events." Sarutobi sighed in defeat and replied, "Yes, I authorized those seals to be placed on you, and those were the only ones that put there, so you could be a bit hindered in the intelligence department, but how did you know about them?" "I destroyed them last night. The Kyuubi was so grateful to tell me about them, and in turn, I stole some of its chakra to destroy them the night Irika-sensei was hospitalized. I understand your position, but you should have told me about this to avoid this conversation that we are having now." Sarutobi bowed his head slightly as he muttered, just like Yakumo-san. Naruto heard his muttering due to his advanced hearing and thought, "Serenity, check the database of the whole population, search for the name of Yakumo." Searching 30 hits on the name of Yakumo, both civilian and ninja. Narrow it down. She is a former ninja and has a seal placed on her. Yakumo Kurama, the heiress of the Kurama clan and sole survivor of the main branch. Her mind was sealed by her tutor, Kurina Yuhi, by order of the third Hokage. Her clan's specialty is genjutsu. Their illusions are so powerful that they can create real effects. Due to the drawbacks of her power, since she was the most powerful of them, causing her body to become very fragile and created a second personality, dubbed as the Ito. It is a monster that could take over and use her power for destructive purposes. Yakumo uses her paintings as a medium to direct it. She is currently under surveillance by ANBU and medics. Naruto said, "Serenity, what is my blood type?" AB positive. Hers is the blood type O positive. "I see. I will need you to convert my blood type to O positive." "Yes, Naruto-sama, it will take 2 weeks to do so." Naruto was silent and then thought, "Postpone that until I tell you to do so." "Understood." Naruto turned to Sarutobi, who was talking, but luckily Serenity brought him up to speed, so Sarutobi or Nico wouldn't get suspicious about him talking to the Kyuubi. Naruto answered, "Fine, Sarutobi-ji-san." "Good, now that we understand each other for now, I will let you go. Just promise me that you will not contact the Kyuubi under no circumstances, got it?" Naruto nodded. "Of course I won't. The bastard was rather too rude, demanding me to release it from its prison, and he will think about sparing me." With that, he left the presence of Sarutobi and Nico to go home. Sarutobi thought, I guess that I can trust you, Naruto, but I will have Kakashi keep an eye on you." The Jinchuriki went into his makeshift work study and sat down to work on his latest project. By using some of the nanites that were infused with the Kyuubi's chakra, he could harness it without calling on the Kyuubi itself. Extracting the nanites from his blood and putting into the half-sphere of the metal gloves on top, he named it the CKX gloves, also known as the corrosive Kyuubi X gloves. Finally, it is complete. Now to test it, he put one of the gloves and it glows with a blood-red-orange light as Naruto activated it by tapping the glove's half-sphere. He put it on and pointed the glove at the dummy that he set up. He soon found out that he could have the chakra cover his fist without burning himself and sent out blasts of the chakra before the nanites had to recharge themselves. He could only do 5 consecutive blasts. Each of them were the size of the average human head, and the dummy was reduced to flaming pieces. Success, but it seems that it dims a bit after each use. He took them off and then he put them aside to settle down for the night. After 3 weeks, Naruto laid low, considering he knew that Kakashi was ordered to watch over him. As soon as he caught Tora for the 55th time in his life, he decided to deal with Tora's problem. "Tora, sweetie, come to mommy." Lady Shirjimi called out, and then Naruto felt Tora's claws sink into his chest and said, "Lady Shirjimi, before I hand Tora over to you, may I speak?" "You may." Naruto took a deep breath and said, "I believe that I know the problem over Tora's habit of running away." "Oh, what is it?" With all due respect, Lady Shirjimi, but I believe it is the way you are handling her. Excuse me? You are practically smothering Tora a bit too much. I am going to set Tora down in the middle and let her come to either of us. Hokage-sama will know the instant I use chakra at all in case you believe that I am controlling her. He set Tora down in the middle and said, "Stay, Tora, good girl." Then the Kyubi Jinchuriki went over to the end, further away from the middle, and Lady Shirjimi would have the advantage. "Here, Tora, come to mommy," Shirjimi called out. Tora stiffened and looked at her once and then ran towards Naruto, who picked up the female cat and petted her gently as he walked toward the fire lady. "Mistress, as of this moment, Tora is afraid of you because of the way you handle her. To prevent this, I want to help you, so Tora will never leave your side." He spent the next 20 minutes showing the fire lady how to properly hold and care for Tora. Soon Tora grew comfortable in her owner's arms and Lady Shirjimi said, "Thanks, what is your name, young man?" "Naruto Uzumaki, at your service, ma'am." "Naruto, thank you for helping me with Tora, you took quite a risk there." Naruto smiled. Taking risks to help others is a part of the ninja's job description. Then he looked at Tora as he scratched her chin. "Now you behave, Tora, got it?" Tora purred and let out a soft meow indicating that she was happy, and Naruto smiled. "Good." Lady Shirjimi left the Hokage tower after giving him a favor card, telling him that he could ask of her or her husband. Soon Sasuke turned to the Hokage and said, "Hokage-sama, can we have a better mission than doing these chores, please?" Sarutobi replied, "I am sorry, Sasuke, but you are not experienced enough to handle a C-rank mission, you are merely rookies." The Uchiha argued, "And how exactly D-rank missions are supposed to ready us for a C-rank missions in the future? Considering the fact that most genin die on mere C-rank missions are high, going on one C-rank for at least once a month could prepare new genin to act accordingly." Naruto thought, it seems that Sasuke tends to grow a brain miraculously when he wants something. Sarutobi thought to himself, he is right, I guess we could test it. Let's see how Team 7 handles a C-rank mission. He pulled a scroll from the C pile and said, "Fine, Team 7, you will escort a man back to his village, protecting him from bandits. Send the client, please." Suddenly an old man with a straw hat and a sake bottle appeared in the doorway. "What is this? All I get are snot-nosed brats." The Jinchuriki replied coolly, "Would you rather leave you at the mercy of whoever wants you and the money you have?" The man shut up quickly and Naruto said, "I thought so. I'm Tazuna, a renowned bridge builder, and I expect you all to protect me with your lives." Kakashi turned to his genin and said, "Team, I want you to pack for at least 2 weeks and meet back at 1100 hours. Gates Sakura, Sasuke and Tazuna came at the gate at 10:30 and then Kakashi showed up at 10:45 along with Naruto, who was wearing a tight, dark gray shirt and tight black pants with hexagon signs A/N, picture South Pole logo, traveling up to his knees. On the back of the gray shirt was a black cross. He also had his new CKX gloves on his hands, only his pointer fingers were exposed. He also had black shinobi sandals and 2 kunai holsters on each leg. "What is up with the attire, Naruto?" Sakura asked. "I figure something is going to happen and needed to get rid of that jumpsuit," Naruto replied, when in actuality, the jumpsuit was a chakra inhibitor along with the tracking seal itself, planted by one of the ANBU that hated him. His or her codename was Panther, and he made a mental note to prank and or humiliate the bastard. Then Sasuke asked, "What about the gloves and gold rings around your wrists?" "The gloves are to regulate chakra to act as a repulsion device or send out blasts of flaming chakra. They can also burn the person or thing that I am aiming or punching at. As for the rings, they are suppressing my chakra." They left immediately, and they were silent until Sakura decided to break the silence. Sakura said, "So, Tazuna-san." Tazuna said, "What?" Sakura asked, "You are from the Wave Country, right?" Tazuna answered, "So what of it?" Sakura turned to Kakashi, "Are there any ninjas in that country?" Kakashi said, "No, not in Wave, but there are others. The culture and customs are different, but hidden villages do exist along with their own ninja. In many countries, the meaning of a shinobi village is that it has military power. An island country like Wave doesn't hold any interference with a shinobi village and therefore doesn't need any ninja protecting them. Within the various countries, the ones that stand out are Konoha, Kiri, Kumo, Suna, and Iwa. Thus they are referred to as the 5 great shinobi countries. They are ones that have leaders called Kages. The 5 Kages, Hokage, Mizukage, Reikage, Kazekage, and the Tsuchikage are the ones that rule over the thousands of ninja all over the world." Sakura said, "So then we won't encounter any foreign ninjas?" Kakashi said, "Of course not, there is never any kind of ninja combat on a C-rank mission." They passed a puddle and Naruto tapped his gloves to activate them just as he heard a whistling sound and he turned to see Kakashi trapped in a bladed chain with 2 mist ninja attached to the ends. "One down," one of them said. Then Kakashi was cut into bloody chunks, and then the ninjas appeared behind Naruto as they said in unison, "2 down." Naruto crossed his arms and aimed at their chest, yet 2 down. He blasted their chest point blank, causing severe burns on the torso, and they fell to the floor, writhing in pain. Sasuke rushed in with ambition to attack one of the twins mercilessly while Naruto moved to the other one and placed him in a sleeper hold. "Alright, Sasuke, he is unconscious, no need to punish his face now," he said calmly, and Sasuke got off of him with a blush while Kakashi appeared out of the shadows. "Well done, you two," Sakura asked. "How did you?" "The 3 ninja," answered Kawarini. Tazuna asked angrily, "Why did you do that?" "I need to see who they were after. It seemed that they were after you, Tazuna. Care to explain why these ninja are after you, and don't even try to lie?" Kakashi said with a stare. Tazuna said, "My village is very poor and we didn't have enough money to afford over a C rank." Kakashi said, "Due to the ninja, that means that this should be a B rank, or even an A rank mission now. We are operating outside our duties now." Sakura said, "I think that we should quit, this mission is way too advanced for us." Kakashi said in a serious tone, "I suggest that you start telling us the reason, Tazuna-san." Tazuna said, "The truth is my village is very poor and there is a super dangerous man that is after my life now. His name is Gato." Kakashi said, "The Gato of Gato Company?" Tazuna nodded. "He officially runs a shipping company, but secretly he sells drugs, illegal items and women along with children as slaves, using ninjas and thugs to take over countries and businesses. I understand that if you don't want to continue, my daughter would be miserable over my death and my grandson would hate Konoha with his whole heart." Kakashi and Naruto's sweat dropped. "We will continue the mission," the Jonin said. "Tree Fortress failed? What the hell do you mean, failed?" a short, pudgy man shouted. "If you are supposed to be the best, I wouldn't have paid big for your skills." The man took his sword and held up dangerously close to the midget's face. "Do stop your bitching, there's nothing to worry about. I, with Kubikiri Hocho, will take the hit myself along with my colleague here." Gato gulped. "The enemy has hired ninjas with tremendous skills, and since the Oni brothers have failed, they will on guard." The man said, "Humph, remember who you are speaking to, I'm Zabuza Momochi, the demon of the mist." "Later in the forest there," Naruto said, snapping a shuriken in the bushes. The two groups stopped as the Jinchuriki investigated to see a rabbit twitching and forth bubbling from its mouth. Sasuke snickered, "Only a rabbit? You are afraid of a rabbit?" Naruto took the rabbit and gave it to Sakura to pet and soothe the scarred bunny, ignoring Sasuke's comment and asked, "Sakura, what kind of hair is that?" Sakura inspected the rabbit and said, "It's a snow hare." Naruto nodded. "That is right, their fur always changes colors with the seasons. Since it is spring now, its fur is supposed to be brown now." Sakura caught on, "But its fur is white, which means someone kept it as a pet and used it as a decoy." "Which means someone is duck," Naruto shouted, and he took Tazuna and Sakura. Sasuke and Kakashi also ducked to avoid a large sword spinning over their heads and sank into the tree. Kakashi said, "Zabuza Momochi?" Serenity said, "Zabuza Momochi, an A-rank Nukenin from Kirigakure, specializes in water jutsu and the silent killing technique. He attempted to assassinate the Sandai Mizukage, but the plan failed and he was forced to flee. He is also a former member of the 7 Shinobi Swordsmen of the Mist, and the reason that the bloody Genin exams were ended since he slaughtered over 100 students in cold blood to graduate." Naruto thought, "Looks like Sensei will have a bit of difficulty dealing with this guy." Zabuza said, "Sorry to bother you but I need you to hand over the old man." Kakashi said, "Unfortunately we can't do that. Team 7, protect Tazuna, Manji formation." He uncovered his headband to reveal his Sharingan eye. "I will handle this." Zabuza said, "A shame, oh well, at least I get to fight against you, Kakashi." Then Zabuza pulled out Kubikiri Hocho and stepped onto the lake. Ninpu, Kirigakure no Jutsu. The rogue Jonin faded from their sight. Kakashi thought, since he is known to be proficient in the art of silent killing, he'll come after me first. Sakura shouted, "The mist is getting thicker." Then Zabuza's disembodied voice, 8 choices: liver, lungs, spine, clavicle vein, jugular vein, brain, kidneys and heart. So many choices, which one should I go after? Then a blast of killing intent hit everyone, but Naruto shook it off due to the mob attacks. On the other hand, Sasuke was gripping his kunai and was freaking out. So this is it, a battle between Jonin. The air is so thick with suspense it makes you want to kill yourself to end it. Sasuke, calm down, I will protect you to my last breath, Kakashi said. They looked up in the Jonin's face as he said, I will not allow my comrades to die. Everyone blushed at the saying as Zabuza appeared in the middle of the Manji formation. I wouldn't bet on that. Zabuza swung the cleaver, game over. Kakashi moved quickly and stabbed Zabuza in the stomach, only for him to turn into water and the real Zabuza appeared behind the Jonin. Sensei, behind you! Naruto cried out, but it was too late. Sakura screamed as Kakashi was sliced in half in front of her, but then the blood turned into water as well. What? A Mizubunshin? He was able to copy me in this mist? The ex-Mist-nin thought. Don't move, Kakashi said as he held a kunai to his neck, it's over. Zabuza chuckled, you are good, Kakashi, I admit that. You managed to copy my Mizubunshin and actually made it say something you would say. On top of that, you yourself even used the Kirigakure no Jutsu to hide yourself. Clever but not clever enough. Zabuza chuckled louder, hee it's over? Yeah, right. The real Zabuza appeared behind the Sharingan wielder. I am not that easy to fool. Sakura said, that one was a fake one too. Zabuza swung Kubikiri Hocho at the Jonin's head, but Kakashi ducked as Zabuza used the momentum and the pommel of his sword to send a powerful kick to Kakashi. Sakura shouted, Sensei. Sasuke thought, so he is strong in taijutsu and ninjutsu. Caltrips? Zabuza said, looking at the bank of the river, what do you think I am, a fool? Kakashi popped out of the water, why is this water so heavy? He thought. Then Zabuza appeared behind him, Suiton, Surin no Jutsu. Kakashi cursed, damn, I was too careless. Zabuza said, it will be a bit easier if you can't move, we will finish things later. Mizubunshin no Jutsu. A clone appeared on the shore, you all play act ninja except for those three. But you know what? A real ninja is someone who has survived numerous brushes with death. Run! You three are no match for Zabuza and his clone can't follow you for long. Kakashi cried out. Those who break the rules are trash, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than trash. Naruto stated as he ran forward at Zabuza with his right hand in flames. He jumped in the air and shouted, take this! Blaze rush! He put out his fist out to the Mizubunshin, scorching it into steam and then took out a folded shuriken from his pack, Demon Wind Shuriken, Windmill of Shadows. He launched it at the man and Zabuza said, amateur. He caught the shuriken, but a second shuriken was sprang forward, but Zabuza jumped over it as he said, no shuriken can touch me. The shuriken changed into the real Naruto with a kunai in hand and replied, then how about a kunai? He launched it, and Zabuza had to move to avoid it, only to suffer a scratch on his cheek. You little brat! The swordsman yelled out, only for Kakashi to resurface in time to block Zabuza's assault on Naruto, catching the Fuma shuriken on the back of his glove. You are not touching my student! Kakashi said with a glare. Zabuza's eyes widened at the glare before regaining his composure. Good work, Naruto! Your scheme was brilliant, Kakashi said with a smile. Then he glared at Zabuza, just so you know, the same trick doesn't work twice on me, so shall we? Zabuza and Kakashi jumped away and did hand signs at breakneck speed, finally ending with the Tori sign. Suiton, Suryuden no Jutsu. Everyone watched as the two water dragons battled it out. So many hand signs, but in seconds, he copied them perfectly. Sasuke thought. The water fell to see Kakashi and Zabuza at a standstill. Strange, what's going on? Zabuza thought as he jumped away, he copied my movements completely. Kakashi finished, reading them? Zabuza thought in shock, the hell? Is he reading my mind? Damn it, that. Kakashi voiced, freaky eye is pissing me off, right? Zabuza shouted, you can't beat me, you monkey bastard. I'll make it so you can never open that mouth again. He flipped through hand signs until he saw something unnerving. That is me? That's impossible, is this a genjutsu? Kakashi saw his chance and shouted, Suiton, Daibakufu no Jutsu. Zabuza said, what? Impossible. He was blasted by the water vortex as he thought, he did my jutsu before I was able to perform it. His back slammed into the tree and Kakashi threw kunai, pinning him to the tree. It's over, Zabuza Momochi, he said. Can you see into the future? Zabuza said fearfully. Yes, the copycat answered, I saw your future death. Before the Nuke-nin could reply, 2 needles stuck themselves deeply into his neck. It seemed your prediction came true. The Konoha ninja along with Tazuna turned to see a masked figure in a tree. Kakashi checked Zabuza's pulse, seeing that he was truly dead. Thank you for helping me take down Zabuza, the hunter ninja said with a bow. Kakashi said, you're welcome, Hunter Nin. The hunter Nin shined down and grabbed the corpse. Your battle is over for now, and he must be disposed of or the enemy will reveal our secrets. Then Kakashi took down his headband and fell on the floor, unable to move. Tazuna's house, are you two going to be alright? Tsunami asked worriedly. Kakashi answered, we should recover in a week and Zabuza will have to do the same. Sakura shouted, with you down, how can we defeat someone that even you couldn't defeat? Training first thing in the morning. Kakashi answered. Okay, today I am going to teach you how to climb trees using chakra only. To do so, you must send chakra to the soles of your feet and walk, or in this case, run up the tree. Use your kunai to mark your progress if you fall off and then try to surpass that mark. If you can master this type of exercise, then there is no jutsu that you can't master. Kakashi explained to his team. Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura pulled out their kunai from their pouch and ran at their designated tree in front of them. Sasuke moved up quickly on his tree, but then he accidentally put too much chakra and crushed the bark. He pushed off the trunk and managed to cut his mark on the tree before he bounced off from tree to tree until he landed on the ground. Naruto ran up his tree for a bit, and then he felt his control slipping, so he grabbed a branch and sat on it before he lost his footing and slashed his mark. He noticed that he was slightly behind Sasuke, but it was due to his own capacity of chakra. This is easy, Sakura said, and everyone looked to see that Sakura was sitting on a branch way higher than Naruto. Looks like the one with the best chakra control is Sakura. Kakashi said with his lone eye smiling, then he thought, but I would never expect Naruto to get close to Sasuke that easily in this exercise since he has the most chakra here, exceeding my own. Naruto jumped down from his position and tried again, getting much farther than where he marked at. He went back to the ground again as he thought, this is interesting, so the objective is to find the right amount of chakra to use. You do too much and you will crush the tree, and if you do too little, you don't stick and fall off the tree. I was a bit close, time to see if I can get this the right way. The Jinchuriki walked to his tree and put his foot on the tree. When he was sure that he had the right amount, he placed his other foot on the tree and slowly walked up his tree. Sasuke looked at the Jinchuriki and was incensed that he was surpassing him in this exercise as Naruto came back down a few minutes later from reaching the top. Naruto noticed this and walked towards him and whispered, I know that you don't want my help, but if you want to master your own jutsu in this exercise you will need to calm down. Sasuke thought to himself, calm down? What is that supposed to wait? If I become calm, I can become focused on this exercise to find the right amount of chakra to use. Alright, Dobe, let's see if your theory is correct. Sasuke ran up the tree and got farther than Naruto's second mark on his third try, and he smirked. Looks like you were right, Naruto. Alright, looks like everyone has gotten the hang of it. Now if you want to increase your chakra capacity, you can keep doing this exercise until you feel slightly exhausted or out of breath. So Sasuke, Sakura, you have the option of continuing if you want. Naruto, you can do other training and tomorrow, you will guard Tazuna. Kakashi instructed. Naruto nodded at this and Sasuke said, wait a minute, why doesn't he have to do the exercise anymore? Because, Uchiha, I have the chakra capacity rivaling the average Kage level shinobi, and sensei did say that it was optional, but it would be a waste of time doing the exercise with my chakra levels. As to why I have that much chakra, which is probably your next question, I believe that I have inherited it from one of my parents or something. The Jinchuriki bowed respectfully to Kakashi and said, I will be at the house. Then he turned to walk to the house and unsealed his new blueprints of his latest projects. One was a metal gauntlet with a hidden blade mechanism. Another was a small disc that explodes on impact, and lastly a leather glove that was covered with metal and had claws on the end of the fingers too. He also wanted a crossbow, but the ones in Konoha were made out of white pine or Douglas fir. He needed something made out of hickory or oak. He was lucky enough to find out that Wave Country had an abundance of oak trees. Now all he needed was a blacksmith to mold the bolts and make the gauntlets, so he ventured into the town and found a blacksmith at work. Hello, kid, are you a bit young to be wielding a weapon? The man asked. He was a bronze-colored man with a beard and appeared to be in his 40s, wearing a black vest with an apron and blue pants. His hair was a dark purple and his eyes were forest green. Yes, I am. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I am a ninja and a bit of an inventor. The name's Nakoshi Murama. So you are one of the guys that Tazuna hired, huh? What do you need? I want you to make 2 gauntlets, one made out of metal and the other one will be leather with metal covering it to protect my hand. The metal gauntlet will have a 4.5-inch blade hidden inside of HT. Also I need at least 100 bolts for a crossbow. Do you have enough metal for that? Nakoshi replied, Unfortunately I don't. I have been making weapons for Gato's men. It is the only reason why my establishment is still up, but I will have to thank them a bit since the money I used was for Tazuna to hire you guys. Naruto took a scroll from his pouch and unsealed a large slab of metal that he had. Will this do? Nakoshi smiled, This is enough to make twice of your bolts, and have some left over to make your gauntlets. It will take me about 3 days to finish all of them. Naruto nodded and he said, Here are the plans, I will be back to pay you when it is finished. The Jinchuriki went in the woods to see Sasuke running up the tree again, and Sakura was resting against her tree. Serenity, check chakra levels of subject Sasuke Uchiha and subject Sakura Haruno. Naruto said, and his eyes became cybernetic and dilate much like a camera's lens to scan their bodies. Sasuke Uchiha currently has 34% of his chakra left, and Sakura has only 40% of her chakra. Serenity replied. I guess I could help Sakura out tomorrow, she looks very tired as it is. Naruto thought to himself, time to train. The secretive boy moved to a tree and began to practice his taijutsu moves and combos of punches and kicks until Kakashi recalled each of them back to the house at the end of the day for dinner. March 23rd, 8.K2:00 p.m. Bridge. Naruto was hard at work. He decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Using Kage Bunshin to help work on the bridge as well as keeping a close eye on Tazuna was a good idea, since the Kage Bunshin wasn't a big deal on his reserves. He also realized quickly that information was given to the original user after a clone was dispelled. He knew that for him, it was the ultimate training regiment for a person like him. Huh? What do you mean, you want to stop Chi-Chi? Tazuna said in utter surprise and disbelief. Naruto glanced over to see his client arguing with his old-time friend. Chi-Chi replied, It's too dangerous to work on this now, Gato is much too strong. Tazuna gritted his teeth and replied, Fine, but I am not giving up. He can threaten me all he wants, but I will not stop until this bridge is finished. Chi-Chi, you don't have to come in tomorrow. The old man picked up a board and turned to work on the bridge. Later on, Naruto and Tazuna went to the grocery store to buy food, but the Jinchuriki frowned at the state of the village. There was hardly any food, and he was shocked to see that a mere child was forced to resort to begging to get food, and saw how his eyes lit up when he gave him some candy. I am going to make sure that this bridge is completed. No one will stop us this from happening, Naruto thought as he clenched his gloved fist. That night, Sakura noticed a torn picture on the wall, prompting Tazuna to tell the story of Kaisa's life and death at the hands of Gato. Naruto went towards the door and Sakura asked, Where are you going, Naruto? It is dark outside. To train a bit, I might be late, he answered as he went out the door and traveled deep into the woods to train until he fell unconscious from exhaustion. Soon he was awakened by a pretty girl dressed in a pink yukata with a black ribbon tied around her neck. You know, it is bad to sleep out here without Gato's men lurking about. I could say the same about you. It is not like thugs to not harass a pretty lady such as yourself, Miss. I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Haku is my name. What are you doing here, Naruto-san? I was training. I am a ninja. I want to be strong to protect the people here. No one should suffer like this. Kids shouldn't be out begging for food on the streets, Naruto said in a serious tone. Haku reflected back to her hardships as an orphan until she met her master. Well, keep working hard on it, Naruto-san. I am sure that you are pretty strong as it is. Thanks, Haku-san. Make sure that Zabuza heals up soon. Haku stiffened and the Jinchuriki said to her, You're sent and I recognize your voice when we met you 2 days earlier. I am not going to kill you. I am going to extend the same courtesy to you since you obviously had the chance to kill me in my sleep, but for some reason you didn't. Haku nodded silently and left, passing Sasuke along the way. Who was that girl you were talking to? Sasuke asked his teammate curiously as he watched her. She was the one who graciously woke me up before you arrived here. In exchange, I was helping her collect herbs for her sick father. I never did catch her name though, Naruto replied. Sasuke dismissed the answer and said, Whatever, come on, Kakashi needs us to watch Tazuna-san again. The Jinchuriki nodded, knowing that this mission got a bit harder. Could he really kill Haku after all? Since he caught a glimpse of sadness in her eyes that she didn't want to kill as well, he would have to find that out when he faced her along with Zabuza later in the week. March 25th, AK7:00 p.m. Tazuna's house. Team 7 came in the house, joining Tazuna's small family for dinner. Each of them has mastered a jutsu from Kakashi over the week and they were a bit happy. Sakura learned Magen, Narukami, Sasuke learned Katon, Hausenka, and Naruto learned Suiton, Mizurappa. Inari glared at Naruto, who noticed and asked, What's wrong? Why do you even bother to try hard at all? No matter how hard you train, you are no match for Gato and his men. No matter how hard you boast or how hard you work, in the end, when you are facing the strong, the weak are always killed. You guys come in here, laughing and smiling like idiots. No one can defeat Gato, no one. Naruto sighed, Whatever, kid, I am going out since I lost my appetite, and before I might do something that I will regret in the end. So good night, Tsunami-san, Tazuna-san. But Inari had to get the last words in. I would hate to be you. You know nothing about this country, yet you are being so nosy about it. What the hell do you know about me? I am different than you, You are always acting as if everything is going to be fine and being all cheerful. You know nothing about suffering. Slap! Naruto backhanded the boy across the face, making Inari clatter to the floor. Don't you ever assume that people have not suffered at all, boy. The things that I have been through, you would have never survived. You would have wished you were dead, so stop sniveling and whining like a newborn baby. Maybe if you grow a pair like your grandfather did, you would see that the power that Gato holds in money humph. It is a shame Kaiser-san would have been so disappointed in you. In fact, he would hate to be you. Sakura said as she touched his shoulder. Naruto, you have said enough. He shrugged off her hand off her shoulder, and gave Tsunami a healing balm from his pouch. Here, that should bring down the swelling on his cheek, and I am sorry for striking your son. With that, he went out the door to visit Nakoshi as he always did at this time of night. He knocked on the door and a woman opened the door. She was very beautiful and had short, curly black hair up to her shoulder and hazel eyes. Her skin was a light golden brown. Why, hello again, Naruto-kun, Nakoshi-koi is out back. Come on in, she said with a caring smile. Thanks, Ayaka-san. Just then Nakoshi came in. Hey Naruto, the bolts and the leather gauntlet are finished, but the other one isn't just yet. Thanks for telling me about that. I just needed to clear my head for a bit. Oh? How so? The man asked. Inari. Oh, he must have said something that hit close to home. I bet Kaiser and Inari were very close, and when he was killed, Inari was affected the most. Naruto replied, I know, but he has to realize that there are others who have suffered other than him, some more than he has. Nakoshi placed a hand on his shoulder. True, but you can't blame him at all, he has never encountered ninja before. Well, enough of this doom and gloom business, come, I will show you your crossbow. I even made an extra one for you as well. The ninja followed Nakoshi into the shop and the blacksmith gave him the crossbow. Naruto took a bolt and placed in the crossbow, then shot it at a makeshift target. Amazing, there is almost no heavy recoil from it, Naruto said as he placed it back down and went to get the bolt. Then he noticed the sword. It was a black sword that resembled a cross if you held it at the blade. 3. What is with the sword? He asked. Oh, that it was a memory of my younger days. I was a swordsman once until I met Ayaka and Two-san. Naruto turned to see a 6-year-old girl with black, curly hair like her mother, and her father's green eyes with tan skin, wearing a blue nightgown, run up to Nakoshi for a hug. Maya-chan, Nakoshi said, what have I told you about running in the shop? Not to. The girl said innocently, and then she turned to Naruto. Hi, Naruto Naikin. Hey, Maya-chan, you look very pretty. You got your mother's looks for sure. Maya giggled. You said that already, but thank you. Nakoshi mock glared at Naruto as he said, hey, no courting my daughter, Naruto. I don't care if you are a ninja and my favorite customer. Naruto laughed, and then Ayaka walked inside. There you are, you little rascal. It is time for you to go to bed, young lady. Maya pouted as Nakoshi gave her to Ayaka, and the blacksmith said, well, Naruto, are you feeling a bit better now? Yeah, I am your daughter. Reminded me of my promise that I made, to free this village from the clutches of Gato. I will be back in the morning to get the gauntlet. Thanks for your time and the crossbows, Naruto said as he left. After the Jinchuriki left, Nakoshi looked at the black sword hanging on the wall and said, well, Kitami, it looks like you may have a new successor. Meanwhile, one of the thugs that was patrolling happened to see Naruto walk out of the shop and the moon's light shine to see his headband. The thug grinned a bit, and he ran back to the base to tell his boss about Nakoshi's new customer. March 26th, aka Tazuna's house. Naruto woke up to find that his team along with Tazuna left for the bridge. The Jinchuriki left the house to go straight to Nakoshi's shop and planned to join his team at the bridge. He was greeting with the sight of Nakoshi's shop trashing and heard a commotion inside. Suddenly a thug was thrown out of the window and fell unconscious. Naruto ran inside to see Nakoshi armed with a sword, fighting off thugs left and right. The boy acted by taking out a kunai from one of his hexagonal seals after he bit his thumb to wipe blood on it. He slashed the thug's back, making him arch in pain, and then Naruto kicked him out the same window his companion was thrown out of. The thugs were alerted to the new threat and attacked the Jinchuriki. I can't risk using any jutsu or my X-gloves right now to conserve my energy. If they are here, that means that Haku and Zabuza are attacking at the bridge as well, he thought to himself. Naruto ducked under a slash from a thug's sword and gave him a punch to the face to stab at his leg. He moved to the left and slashed at another's arm, but the brigand avoided it and went low for Naruto's legs. The Jinchuriki jumped and kicked the thug in the face, making him fly into the furnace, and he screamed in pain before he died burning. Just then Nakoshi fell to the ground and Naruto screamed out, Nakoshi! He slashed and stabbed furiously through the 3 remaining thugs to get to the fallen man. Are you alright? Naruto asked. Be behind you. Naruto quickly launched his kunai behind him, which lodged itself into his last adversary's throat, and Nakoshi used his remaining strength to lift his sword upward and stab the man in the chest. What happened? The thugs broke into my shop. I was able to hide Maya and Ayaka in the cellar before I was able to get my sword to block them. Damn bastard got me with that sneaky stab in my leg. Ugh. It seems that the years grew on me. Nakoshi coughed up blood and Naruto said, Hold on, I will get you to a doctor, you will be all better and… No, Naruto, it is too late for me. No, it's not, we could get you to a hospital, come on, stay with me, Nakoshi. You have Maya and Ayaka to think about. Nakoshi smiled, hee, if you knew my real name, you wouldn't save me at all. What? My real name is Kazuma Murama, the Black Cross, a former Kirin ninja and former member of the 7 Shinobi Swordsmen of the Mist. So you knew Zabuza? Serenity said, he also killed a village populated with over 400 people and he slaughtered them, women, men and children. Yeah, I knew him, he was a bloodthirsty kid, so that's who Gato hired, huh? Yeah, Naruto said, crying a bit, and Nakoshi put his hand on the Jinchuriki's shoulder. Hey, don't worry about me right now, you have got to protect your friends, so I want you to take everything here, including my sword, Kitami. She will serve you well. Naruto said, but I… Naruto, don't question me, you are like the son that I never had. Now please grant my final request, please. The Jinchuriki bowed his head and said, fine. Tell Maya and Ayaka that I love them very much. I will be back to see you soon, Nakoshi said quietly, and then he closed his eyes and smiled as he drew his last breath. Naruto let out a cry of anguish and sobbed for the loss of his friend, who acted like a father figure to him for a few moments. Then all of his sadness turned to anger, and that anger turned into rage. Naruto quickly got up and geared up for war, taking everything. He sealed the weapons into a scroll and took Kitami to seal in his hexagonal sign on his upper right thigh. Next, he went to the cellar and opened it to find Ayaka coming out with a flying pan swinging wildly. Naruto caught her wrist, saying, Ayaka, it's me, Naruto. She opened her eyes and said, Naruto-kun, where is Nakoshi-kun? The Jinchuriki said, I couldn't save him, I came too late, it is probably my fault. One of Gato's men must have seen me with my headband on and brought wrath upon your family. I am sorry, Ayaka-san, I am so sorry. Ayaka blinked back her tears at the loss of her husband and hugged Naruto. It's not your fault, Naruto, you see, during his last battle, Nakoshi was poisoned and the poison attacked at his muscles. He couldn't do anything strenuous such as sword fighting or use chakra at all. By doing blacksmithing, he was killing himself little by little, and the doctors told us that it was going to be his last year with us. But what about Maya-chan? Naruto said, has she been told about his condition? Yes, but she still believes that he will never die. But I do think that she knows that Nakoshi will be gone, that is why I let her spend so much time with him. Ayaka said sadly, he was always optimistic when things would go from bad to worse. Naruto nodded silently and turned away. Ayaka-san, please don't let Maya-chan come into the shop until I am finished taking out the trash, then I am going to find the person who ordered the hit and kill him, Gato and possibly Zabuza. Naruto spent the next minutes taking out the bodies with the help of his clones and burned their corpses, which were covered in oil, and used a katan, Kakashi, on them. Next, he took Nakoshi's body, which Maya was crying on, and sadly pried her away from it to bury him beside the house. Then he cleaned the shop, making it devoid of blood on the ground and the smell as well. Alright, I want you two to stay here. If I don't return, come to Tazuna's house because I will possibly be incapacitated. Ayaka nodded. How did he die? He died as he lived, Ayaka-san. He died with love in his heart and a smile on his face, he said. Maya cried out after Naruto left, I hope you kill them all, Naruto Naiken. The Jinchuriki ran out the door towards the bridge with the look of murder in his eyes. He reached the edge to see Sasuke on the ground, but Naruto suspected that he was in a death state like Haku did with Zabuza. When the girl dropped her mirrors and went after Sakura and Tazuna, Naruto leapt out of the shadows and thought, they will all pay for this injustice. Haku looked up in shock to see that the Jinchuriki come down upon her hard and fast. With quick thinking, she made a ice saban and blocked his assault. What the Naruto grabbed her arm and snapped in two, making her scream in pain. Then he kicked her in the abdomen and sent a crushing axe kick to the head, making her fall to the ground. He clambered over her back and lifted her head by the hair, raising a kunai to her neck. Who are you? Your worst nightmare if you don't answer this question in the next few seconds. Did you order some mercenaries to kill a blacksmith by the name of Nakoshi Murama? No, who is he? Naruto didn't answer for a moment and then answered, he was a friend almost like a father to me. Quickly, he knocked her out using the ring of his kunai on her head. Naruto moved from Haku's seemingly dead body and moved towards Zabuza and Kakashi to see that the demon of the mist was held down by Kakashi's dog summons. Wait one moment, Sensei, I need to ask Zabuza something, Naruto said as he approached the two of them. Kakashi looked over at Naruto with his jutsu slowly dispersing from his hand. I don't think he voiced out. Naruto glared at his sensei for a moment, making Kakashi shut up, then he turned to the ex-Miss Ninja and asked, Zabuza, did you kill a man named Nakoshi Murama? So what if I did? Zabuza said with a defiant look. Naruto said, wrong answer, Zabuza. He activated his glove, giving off a powerful flame than ever before, he didn't even register it. The boy held the corrosive flames at the Jonin's chest, answer me. Zabuza grimaced in pain for a while and then he screamed out as the boy pressed it closer, Ag. And no, I didn't. Naruto took it away from the man's chest and said, I see, so Gato is the one responsible for his death. Thank you for telling me the truth. The boy walked away only to hear laughter from the other side of the unfinished bridge. Everyone turned to see Gato standing in front of his men, which were 100 strong. Looks like you couldn't finish the job at all, huh? Don't worry, I will finish it for you, and I am afraid that I will have to kill you too, the short, pudgy man said with a laugh. Naruto said, did you kill a man named Nakoshi? Why, yes. His usefulness had ran out since that all my men were supplied with weapons, Gato said. Suddenly red chakra surrounded his body, turning his vibrant, blue eyes into burning red pools of anger. His teeth and nails grew sharper. Kakashi-sensei, release Zabuza-sen, we are going to need his services to get all of us out of this alive. He should be fine with that burn on his chest since it is 2nd degree only. Not so fast. Gato shouted as he snapped his fingers to have his bodyguards bring out a gagged and struggling Tsunami and Inari. Naruto immediately pulled out his crossbows from his shoulder and back and asked quietly, Serenity, most possible way to kill bodyguards without hurting innocent bystanders. Left target, aim at the railing 36 degrees east, right target, aim at the sky 89 degrees north. Naruto did so and shot the bolts. The deadly bolts hit both Zora and Waraji in their eye, allowing the prisoners to run free. The bandits tried to reclaim their prize, but were cut down by Naruto's bolts. The two got to Naruto, who took their gags off and said to them, go to Tazuna and Sakura, I am sure that Sasuke is awake by now. Kill them! Gato shouted. The Jinchuriki bit his pointer finger to spread one of the hexagons to unseal a black sword that resembles a cross if you held it at the blade. One thing, Zabuza, you kill Gato, I kill you, got it? Fei, whatever, kid. Kakashi, Naruto and Zabuza ran at the crowd, wielding their weapons. Naruto reached the crowd first and jumped in the air as he stabbed a bandit in the throat. He quickly pulled it out as he launched a blast of flames toward another in front of him. Naruto took his sword and sliced off a man's arm off to make him scream in pain until the Jinchuriki backhanded him hard across the face. Kakashi thought to himself, where did he get those weapons and who is Nakoshi? And how the hell is he killing people so easily? Zabuza hacked down 3 bandits down the middle of their waist as he thought, that kid is pissed off and that chakra is foul and appalling, is he a Jinchuriki like Yugura? Next, Naruto impaled a bandit through the stomach with his sword and then had to move away to avoid a slash from one of the bandits. The Jinchuriki quickly rolled and bit his thumb as he reached down to his left thigh to unseal a Kaiketsu Shogue. A/N, picture the one in Ninja Assassin. As the Jinchuriki began to twirl around, the thugs that surrounded him stepped back to avoid it, and in fear. Finally the boy sent it out to stab a random thug and shouted, get over here. He pulled the chain, which launched the thug forward into a clothesline move. Then he ripped out the blade downwards before he pulled it out and swung it around his head, making the thugs avoid him once again. A thug got brave and charged in with his battle axe, but Naruto dodged to the left, making the thug kill one of his own and jumped up to slice his throat. He reached his sword and pulled it out of the body, then quickly sealed the Kaiketsu Shogue in its seal while the thugs regrouped to kill the kid. It is just one kid, how the hell does one kid kill 10 of us in 6 minutes? One of them asked. Naruto answered, it is because I have a goal and that goal is to avenge my fallen friend, Nakoshi Murama. Your boss made the mistake of killing him, and now he lifted Kitami as he pointed the sword at them. All of you will die alongside with him. That sword? That is the Black Cross sword. Zabuza thought, so Kazuma, you entrusted that sword to that boy, huh? I guess that looking at him now is a lot like you. Please spare us, we will leave this village and... No, there is no escape, There is no guarantee that you will not try to harm an innocent except for one possible outcome: your deaths. You made a wife lose her husband and a daughter her father. I am acting on the will of those two, and my friend will be avenged. Wait a moment. Naruto threw a kunai at the protesting thug, which lodged within his throat. The Jinchuriki placed his sword through the loop of his belt securely and took out his crossbows. He jumped in the air and shot bolts at the group, cutting them down with their dying screams lingering in the air. Nakoshi placed seals on the crossbows to reload every time I shoot a bolt. Thank you, my friend. Your sacrifice will not be in vain. Soon he had cut down over 20 thugs with the crossbows and holstered back as he knew that he ran out of ammo, then drew Kitami. He stabbed one in the chest, then kicked another with a roundhouse kick. He blocked a thug's overhand strike and punched him with his left metal cestus hand. Naruto ducked under an attack and then hacked off a bandit's head. He didn't care about the carnage and gore he was causing, he didn't care about the screams of agony surrounding him, and the only thing that he cared about at all was avenging the death of Nakoshi by killing Gato. A cut on his arm thrusted him back to reality, and Naruto decked him in the face, then took his legs from him. Between the Jonin and Naruto, the bandit's status was either dead, dismembered, or running away from the bridge in sheer fear. The Jinchuriki looked at the whimpering Gato, who pleaded with the boy, "Please let me go, I won't stay in this village anymore, I can give you money, power, women, anything." "Can you give back life?" "No, you can because of your greed. A woman and daughter are crying for the loss of their family member." Naruto stabbed him in the shoulder and pulled out a crossbow while putting his foot on the cast. "Because of your actions, I lost a friend." He shot Gato's hand, pinning him to the floor and making the man scream in pain. "Because of you, this village lost a great man. No, two of them, and you want me to spare you?" Naruto said coldly, "Don't make me laugh, you son of a bitch." He kicked him across the face and said, "This is for Ayaka, Inari, Tsunami, Tazuna, and Maya. Resquiescat and pace, asshole." He unleashed his hidden blade and stabbed Gato in the throat. The business tyrant died with a gurgle, and he suffered as the light left his eyes. The Jinchuriki sheathed his blade and walked away, only to throw up on the ground as the adrenaline left his body as well as his demon's chakra. Kakashi moved to his student and said, "Naruto, are you okay?" The blonde replied, "Yeah, I am. Just give me a minute, sensei." The Sharingan wielder thought for a moment and decided to wait to ask about his sudden anger and those weapons. He said, "Kid, that was one of the most sadistic things I ever saw from someone of your age. Or even take your apprentice and leave," Naruto said without looking at him at all. "Nah, I think I better stick around here with you. Running from hunter ninjas are no fun anymore. Plus I think you need someone who can teach you how to use that sword," the ex-jonin replied. "Fine," Naruto said, "be my guest." Then the boy passed out on the ground, but luckily Kakashi had caught him before he fell to the ground. I guess using the Kyuubi's chakra and the kills made him shut down a bit. He thought to himself, "It looks like I will have to ask him when he wakes up." On the next day, Naruto woke up with Sakura sitting beside his head. "Oh, you are awake," the Harino said. "I'll get sensei." The silver-haired man came in and asked, "How are you doing, Naruto?" "Fine, I have some explaining to do, huh?" "Who is Nakoshi?" "He was a blacksmith. He was the one who made the bolts for my crossbows and my gauntlet. When I went to go pick it up, I found him almost dead. He told me to take his weapons, all of them, and tell his wife and child that he was sorry. I did so and promised to get justice on Gato." "And the sword?" Naruto said sadly, "He was Kazuma Murama, the former Black Cross. After a life of killing, he found Ayaka, his wife, and settled down. He had a terminal illness that affected his muscles. Even blacksmithing was killing him. He would have had a year left if he continued." Kakashi was quiet for a moment. "I'm sorry, Naruto." "It's alright, Kakashi-sensei, my vengeance is complete now. I feel that Nakoshi can rest now, but I am going to miss him. He was like the father that I never had." Naruto noticed Kakashi wince at the implication, and then he asked, "So when are we leaving?" "In a week. We have to repair the bridge since some of the damages were inflicted on it." "Alright," answered Naruto. Then Tsunami said, "Naruto-san, there is someone by the name of Ayaka here to see you." The boy got up and left to the door to see Ayaka and Maya. "Hey, you two," the boy said as he came downstairs with a smile. "Naruto Niken!" Maya cried out as she hugged Naruto. "Did you beat all the bad men?" Naruto replied as he knelt down to the girl, "Yeah, we beat all of the bad men, Maya-chan." Maya hugged the blonde-haired ninja, who held her close, and a single tear fell down from his face. Sakura thought, Naruto. Soon after the week was done, the whole population of Wave came to see the ninja off, including Haku and Zabuza. "Well, I guess that this is goodbye," Tazuna said to them. "Don't worry, We will come and visit you guys someday, Sakura said with a cheerful smile. Inari started to cry, but then Naruto said to him, look sharp. The Jinchuriki smiled and said, smile when you cry, that way you are crying happy tears. Also do me a favor. He knelt down to Inari's level and said, take care of yourself and Maya-chan, got it? Inari nodded and then Naruto hugged Ayaka and Maya. I will see you soon. The Jinchuriki left, but Tsunami quickly hugged him and whispered, thank you for saving me and my son back there and take care of yourself. Naruto nodded and ran off to reach the ninja. Konoha Team 7, along with Zabuza and Haku, went inside of the Hokage Tower. Sarutobi said, hello, Team 7, may I ask why is Zabuza here unrestrained? The swordsman said, I am here on my own free will. I was on the opposite side on Kakashi's team. I saw that Naruto here has acquired a sword from a former member of the Shinobi Swordsmen of the Mist. Therefore I am obligated to train him for a month, and then leave. The Hokage said, I see, alright, I will allow this and give you temporary status as a ninja. If you try anything suspicious, your life will be forfeit, understood? Zabuza nodded and the Hokage said, alright, Team 7, you are dismissed, and you have 2 weeks off for successfully. Kakashi, I will expect the report by tomorrow. Actually, Hokage-sama, I can give my report now. The old man nodded and handed 2 headbands that had the kanji for temporary to Zabuza and Haku. Next, he said, I have assigned your apartments in the same complex as Naruto. I trust that you will be fine with these accommodations. Both of the water ninja nodded and the Hokage said, alright, dismiss the genin including Haku and Zabuza left, leaving Kakashi and Sarutobi alone. Talk to me. Naruto is very advanced for his age. He apparently can channel the Kyuubi's chakra and convert it into a corrosive flame. He also knows basic sealing to hide his weapons, and on top of that, he has killed already. He slaughtered over 50 bandits in anger and brutally tortured Gato for killing a blacksmith named Nakoshi Murama. Kakashi said. I am not surprised by that. If it were Sasuke or Sakura, then I would be, but he does have the Kyuubi's chakra in his body to use. Did he react to it? He threw up like every ninja does before their first kill. He was a bit shaken up about it until the daughter and widow of Nakoshi came to him. Alright, anything else? Yes, Sasuke has also unlocked his Sharingan during his battle with Hakusan, but that is basically all that happened. After their break, I plan on training them, all of them, to the best of their ability. The Jonin said to the old man. Very well, you are dismissed, Kakashi. Naruto, I have 2 weeks to spare before training with Zabuza. He thought. You can change your blood type now, Master Naruto. Serenity replied. Alright, let's do it. Program execute Operation Blood O. Commencing. Naruto felt himself lull back into unconsciousness, and he was suspended in his mind. There, he was trapped for 48 hours to train his mind while his body was being changed on the inside. After the 2 days were completed, Naruto woke up, stiff, and he got up slowly, stretching his unused body. Then he strode over to one of the training grounds to find a young girl training. That is Hinata Hyuga, the heiress of the Hyuga clan. What is she doing here this late? He thought. It is 10 o'clock at night. He walked over to see Hinata striking at a log with a metal sheet covered over it. You know, it is a bit dangerous for a young lady such as yourself to be out here this late. She jumped and hid behind the log a bit, and Naruto-kun. Hello, Hinata-chan, I see that you're getting some extra training in, huh? Hi, but what are you doing here, and Naruto-kun? Same as you, training? I was asleep for a couple of days, so I came for training as well. Then I saw you here and figured that we could train together. Training with Naruto-kun alone, Hinata thought. Naruto-sama, this girl's pheromone levels are rising off of the charts, any more and I believe that she might faint. Naruto chuckled as he replied, alright, Serenity, thank you. The Knight Enhanced boy said, well, what is your answer? Hi. Naruto said, okay, I want you to attack me, don't worry about hurting me. I have a high pain tolerance. Hinata nodded and got in her gentle fist stance, then the Jinchuriki moved in his taijutsu stance. Alright, come at me. The Hyuga attacked the Uzumaki, but he was dodging the attacks very easily. Her style seems too stiff, much like her clan. She is more of a flexible person. Serenity, check for fighting styles that require flexibility. Searching, there are exactly 6 styles that fits with her flexibility. There is Bakwazhang, Chin-Na, Goju-Ryu Karate, Hapkido, Kashijutsu and Aikijujutsu. Can you upload the basics, so I can teach her a bit? Uploading basics. Upload complete. Naruto looked at Hinata and said, Hinata, are you having problems with adapting to your clan taijutsu style? The girl looked at him and averted her eyes from his blue ones. You are, aren't you? Didn't you talk to your father or something? Surely he would try to help you, right? Again, she said nothing and Naruto said, Hinata, look at me. He took her chin and lifted her head. Why didn't you ask for help? And my family doesn't tolerate weakness or anything at all. I couldn't ask anyone for. That is it, the Jinchuriki interrupted. I am going to help you. I know some styles that you can work within your family style as well as utilizing your flexibility. Now come and watch me. But. No buts, got it? Now I want you to stand beside me and copy my movements. This style is very old, it's called Bakwazhang. Hinata got up and copied his movements, then spent the next 2 hours using that style against Naruto. Soon both were tired and Naruto said, come on, I'd better get you home before someone thinks you have been kidnapped or something? The heiress nodded and the two genin walked together to her home. They reached their destination and Hinata bowed to her crush. Thanks for helping me, and Naruto-kun. Naruto smiled at her. Anytime if you want, I can help you train again at this time. Hinata smiled. I would like that a lot. Alright, I will see you tomorrow night. Naruto leapt into the night as Hinata snuck into her room and went off to bed. Alright, kid, I am going to train you in the art of swordsmanship as a favor to Kazuma-san. First lesson, the sword is not considered a tool or a weapon, but an extension of yourself. Where it goes, you follow. Now are you left-handed or right-handed? Zabuza asked. Naruto answered, I am ambidextrous, but predominantly my right. Zabuza nodded and turned to his surrogate daughter, Haku, bring the arm and leg weights. Hi, Zabuza-sama. And I told you it is not Zabuza-sama anymore, it is Zabuza-san now since I consider you my daughter. The fight against Gato made the man realize that Haku was very precious to him despite what he boasts to Kakashi back on the bridge in Wave. The ice user brought the weights and put them onto Naruto's legs and arms, and then the temporary Jonin instructed, now put some chakra into the weights until they feel heavy. Naruto did so and 5 minutes later, his arms and legs felt heavier than usual. He looked at them to see the number 15 on them, and he deduced that was how much pounds he was wearing. Alright, your limbs have 15 pounds exactly. Wearing these will help you increase your speed of your swings, punches and kicks. I am going to let you regulate them to see how serious you are about this. If you slack for the slightest moment, I will drop you from your training, understand? Hi, Zabuza-sensei. Good, now give me 100 up and down strikes, 100 side swipes and 100 diagonal strikes both ways. If you mess up, we will start again, go. Naruto began his weighted training with his right hand and left hand separately, and then switched to two-handed strikes. At the end of his strike training, his arms were searing in pain, it even hurt to move any of his fingers. Now we will work on your agility. You have good reflexes on par for a Chunin level ninja, but you will encounter people your age with the strength of a Jonin. So Haku here will be throwing her Sanban at you for the next 30 minutes. Wait a minute. Go! Naruto began to dodge her attack, but he was pierced by several Sanban in the process. The number happened to reach to 40, and the Jinchuriki soon found out that the number of Sanban that pierced his body was equal to the number of how many laps he had to do around the training ground. Needless to say, today from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., Naruto's body ached. 2 hours later, his innate healing ability that he inherited from the Kyuubi dulled the pain, making the genin able to do his ninjutsu training and work on mastering his arsenal of C-rank jutsu until he reached his limit in 3 hours. Next, he ate and slept. After he drew up ideas and plans for his new projects until 10 o'clock came around, he would venture to the same training ground to help train Hinata in some styles such as Chin-na, a style that focuses on the joints and locking them in uncomfortable places. Naruto was able to help Hinata incorporate some of the style as well as Bakwazhang, making her own style unique to her. It was a counterattack/defensive style. Anytime Naruto attacked, she would counter or use his own attack against him. Hinata once commented that Naruto's speed was much like her cousin, Niji, and she slowly adjusted to it. This was his routine over the 2 weeks. After the last day of his vacation, he went out in the forest and landed on a branch to see a small mansion guarded by ANBU and medical ninja. Henge, Naruto said as he transformed into a mouse and quickly scurried across the path past the ANBU and medical corps. Soon he reached the mansion and crawled through the cracks to find himself in Yakumo's room. He released his henge and crept over to her bed to cover her mouth, making her eyes snap open and look at him in fear. Naruto put a finger to his lips and whispered, "Don't scream, I am a friend now. I am going to help you, Yakumo Kurama. If you promise to hear me out, will you be silent?" Yakumo nodded and Naruto lifted his hand away as she whispered, "Who are you?" "I'm Naruto Uzumaki. I heard that your power was wrongfully sealed by the order of the third Hokage. Plus I know that you are physically incapable of being an active ninja, but I will help you in this too." Yakumo's face changed from anger to sorrow to hope. How did you find me? I have a friend in high places. Now I must tell you the true reason why your powers were sealed. You see, your powers were so great that it created a second personality in your brain. Now that personality is basically the opposite of you and could take over you at any given moment. The first time was when it killed your parents. Yakumo was shocked. I killed my own parents. No, the monster hidden within you took over your body and did it. That is why your teacher, Kurenai Yuhi, sealed your powers to make sure that others and yourself would not get hurt at all. They dubbed it as the Edo monster, but I will need your help since you are the only one who can defeat it. Alright. Ninja style, treasured mind, Naruto said as he held his hand to Yakumo's head, and instantly he appeared beside Yakumo and said, "Ready?" The Genjutsu user nodded and the two ventured into Yakumo's mind to find the Edo eating parts of her mind. Wow, you are an ugly fellow, aren't you? Naruto commented, and the Edo said, "So you have come, master? You are going back to where you belong, out of here," Yakumo said in a stern glare. The Edo narrowed its eyes at Naruto as it said, "It seems that you let that boy corrupt you with his lies and empty promises. Don't worry, master, I will subdue him and make you see the truth." The Edo attacked Naruto, who dodged its attack and grabbed its long ears to pull downwards to meet his knee. "Yakumo, now would be a really good time to banish this dark side of you before I get killed," Naruto said as he dodged most of the Edo's attacks. "What if it's right?" "It's not. I can relate to you because the third Hokage ordered seals to be placed on me when I was a child without my knowledge. Do you know about the Kyuubi no Kitsune?" Yakumo replied, "How can I not? Most of my clan was destroyed by it." Naruto grunted. "The thing is that the Kyuubi wasn't killed, it was sealed within me. We both have accursed power. But right now, you have the power to control it fully without any repercussions, and as for me, helping your body to become strong, the answer lies within my blood. Now try to think of a way to destroy it." Yakumo replied, "The Kyuubi was sealed within you. That means you have had a harder life than I have. But why are you so adamant on helping me?" Naruto reached a standstill against the terrible Edo by grabbing its arms inches from his head. "Because you remind me of myself feeling useless, alone, unappreciated. That is why I am going to help you." Yakumo thought for a moment, and a scalpel appeared in her hand. Then the Genjutsu user leaped into the air to stab the Edo in its head. But I did it to serve you." The Edo exploded into a purple haze while giving one last screech before dissipating. "Cutting that a bit close, aren't you?" Naruto said, panting while Yakumo gave him a sheepish smile. The two appeared back to their real world and Yakumo whispered, "So how are you going to do this?" Naruto pulled out a syringe filled with blood, but it was glistening a bit. "This is filled with my blood, which accidentally came in contact with nanites. The vast amounts should destroy any traces of the Edo and help regulate your Genjutsu power. You may even be able to do a few ninjutsu. If you hear a voice in your head, don't worry, it is all natural, and in a few days, you will be and feel different." Yakumo said, "Will I ever see you again?" Naruto thought about it for a minute and said, "I don't know. When you get better, maybe I will get the privilege of seeing you again. So until I will see you later, Yakumo Kurama, student of Kurenai Yuhi." He injected his blood within her body and then he left, transforming into a squirrel this time around, leaving Yakumo's fate up to his injected nanites. Soon he was on duty once again with his team, and then Zabuza and Haku left to go to Kirigakure, hearing word that Yagura was dead and a new leader was established. The ex-jonin left his temporary student a scroll holding Suetun, Suru, Daibakufu and Suryudan no Jutsu. Sasuke felt a bit jealous of Naruto getting training from him, but he didn't voice it since he noticed that he was the one that Kakashi was mostly focusing on at the time due to his Sharingan. Team 7 did only D-rank missions, now that there was the possibility of the clients lying about the mission to be cheap. Suddenly on one day, there was a hawk that appeared in the sky, causing Kakashi to leave early. Sasuke went to train, expecting Sakura to ask him on a date, but he noticed that she was talking to Naruto. He didn't know why, but it bothered him for the longest while and he couldn't take it anymore. "Alright, who are you?" Sasuke asked. "Huh?" the Haruno said in confusion. "Who are you? You haven't talked or pestered me about a date, you haven't squealed my name in a month, so who are you?" Naruto smirked. "Why, she is Sakura Haruno, a kunoichi. She was asking me for tips on her training regimen. Perhaps you have some to teach her, Sasuke." "Damn right I do. I bet that I can help her better than you, Uzumaki." "Then by all means, prove me wrong, Rookie of the Year." Sasuke growled. "Tomorrow, 3 p.m. after team meetings, training area 3, I will show you some of my jutsu." The Uchiha stalked off, missing the sly smirk on Naruto's face and the shocked one on Sakura's own. Did he basically just ask me to train with him? Yes, it is a bit of a surprise to me too. I never thought he would ask you so soon. Naruto said with a smirk. Sakura asked, Naruto, you are smirking. Although I have ignored you for years, I do know that your smirking means you did something. I did, though Sasuke did all of the work for me. He loves attention and strong women much like his mother. Since he has awakened his Sharingan, and I won't train with him, but I have been training with you means something. To get to me, he realized that he must get through you first, and since me and Kakashi have gotten you up to par to a high genin level, a spar with Sasuke should push you to your limits. Sakura gasped, why you planned this? Yep, surprise. You are now closer to Sasuke than you have accomplished in your years at the academy. Now remember, never mention his brother or family around him, etc. It is a touchy subject, and as a gift, bring some tomatoes, not sweets or fruit. He hates anything associated with his brother to that point, especially Pocky. I only do it to piss him off, which I find hilarious. Sakura nodded and she went off in the distance. Naruto went to a shinobi shop called the Heaven's Earth, and a tall man with short, slicked-back black hair and gray eyes with tan skin turned from his customer. Welcome, I will be with you there shortly. Naruto nodded solemnly and grabbed several shuriken packs, 2 fishnet shirts, a coat with tattered edges and a cowl up to his neck, slightly covering his chin. Then the man appeared and said, Hello, my name is Tenchi Mugawa, is that all? Yes, and I have a question, do you make weapons as well? Yes, we do. We are the second best at making them besides Lord Iou. Naruto nodded and unsealed Kitami, making Tenchi raise an eyebrow, and someone gasped out, that is Kitami, Kazuma Murama's sword, the legendary Black Cross. How did you manage to possess such a weapon like that? Naruto turned to see a young kunoichi wearing a pink Chinese shirt and green pants. In her holsters were 2 handheld scrolls, and her hair was tied up in 2 small buns, making her look like a mouse, and had brown eyes. Yes, it is, miss, and how I got her is the owner gave it to me. Gave it to you? If you don't like the answer, then fine, because that is all that I am saying about it. But you must have encountered him, or something. 10, that is enough. The boy obviously went through some things that he doesn't want to disclose to get that sword. Tenchi said to her sternly, then he turned to Naruto, please excuse my niece, she has a hobby of learning about weapons wielded by legendary ninja other than Tsunade. Naruto replied, can you repair her please and sharpen her as well? Tenchi nodded and took her in the back. Your name is? Uzumaki Naruto. Alright, Naruto-san, see me in 5 days, Tenchi said. Then the Jinchuriki walked out of the store after paying for his equipment, and Tenten muttered, Uzumaki Naruto, huh? Most people would brag about that they killed one of the legendary 7 shinobi swordsmen of the mist, but why doesn't he? Tenchi looked at her and said, Tenten, don't pry into someone's past or you will regret it. If he wanted to tell you about it, then he would. Something must have happened to him when he encountered that man, so I suggest that you don't ask him at all or else. Yes, Uncle Tenten said, but her thoughts were exactly the opposite. She decided to follow this Naruto Uzumaki when he would come back to the shop again. Meanwhile, Naruto's weights were up to 40 and he noticed that he was getting better with his agility. Serenity was able to access low Chunin information and found out that the Chunin exams were coming up in 3 weeks' time. For some reason, it seems very important that Naruto suspected that Orochimaru has something involved with it, and to lie about the nanites would be hard to do it without Sarutobi being suspicious about the information, plus there were ears on every wall. Luckily, he found a scroll with seals. The easiest one happened to be a seal that blocks out noise or anything else, and it was made by Minato Namikaze. Due to Serenity's tinkering, she was able to let Naruto have X-ray vision for a brief moment, and found it hidden in a compartment connected to a library desk. Looks like I will have to tell them everything, huh, Serenity? Naruto said. It is up to you, Naruto-sama, but ultimately this information could save someone's life in the near future, Serenity said. The Jinchuriki nodded and went over to the Hokage Tower, meeting no resistance against the secretary. Just then a man walked out with Yakumo, who was wearing a Konoha headband from the office and walking. The Genjutsu user looked up and noticed Naruto's eyes, but Naruto smiled at her and placed a finger to his lips, making her eyes widen in recognition just as the Uzumaki entered the room. Hello, Hokage-sama. Hello, Naruto, what can I do for you? No, Hokage-sama, it is what I can do for you, Naruto said in a serious tone as he placed the seal on the wall. How did you find this seal, Naruto? Sarutobi asked. Library in a hidden compartment. Now I have recently stumbled on some classified information involving the upcoming Chunin exams and your former student, Orochimaru. How? Remember 6 years ago, when your ANBU found me in Orochimaru's lab, I accidentally was messing with a jar with gray matter filled inside of it. The jar broke and the gray matter traveled within my bloodstream. They are called nanites. They enhance my strength, speed, agility, eyesight, everything. I believe that he made these before he moved on to something else since none of his subjects survived the injection. Sarutobi said, so Orochimaru made those nanites and they are the reason for your condition and your knowledge of the seals as well as the Kyuubi? Yes, I was able to take a small portion of the Kyuubi's chakra to input into my gloves, CKX gloves. Unfortunately, I can only do 5 consecutive blasts before it has to recharge for 12 minutes. You made those gloves yourself? I thought Kakashi told you about them and some of my abilities as well since you told him to keep a close eye on me as well, Hokage-sama. Although I have lost all of my trust in you, I can't let innocent people die because of my selfishness, so I trust that you will heed my warning seriously, Naruto said with a raised eyebrow. Sarutobi replied, don't worry, Naruto, I will heed it. Orochimaru, now, is a dangerous criminal whose ambitions must be stopped. Your orders are to keep this crucial information to yourself. I will alert all Chunin and Jonin personnel to be ready for anything during the Chunin exams. Thank you for notifying about it. You are welcome, Hokage-sama. The boy tuned to take off the seal and moved to the door until Sarutobi's voice stopped him. Naruto, I know that I have betrayed your trust, and it is very much likely possible that I will never regain it from you, but I am very sorry for my poor decisions. I should have told you about when you finished your graduation from the academy and trust you about how to deal with it. Naruto nodded silently and left the room while Sarutobi sighed and leaning back into his chair. Minato Kushina, I messed up badly, what do I do now? A mysterious wind blew some of the paperwork across his desk, but miraculously, the ones that were requested by Shinobi stayed put. Sarutobi looked at it, and then he turned to the windows. They were closed, making the old Hokage let loose a smile. Thank you, it looks like the civilian council will get a rude awakening. Kimiko! The secretary rushed in the office. Hi, Hokage-sama? Send for Taka and his squad. Tell her that she is to notify the council for an emergency meeting, the Shinobi side only. Hi, Hokage-sama. Sarutobi nodded and then began to look his paperwork with renewed vigor. I will set things right, Naruto, and after this meeting, I will need to start training again. I have been acting too much like a politician than a shinobi. At that moment, the pictures that held the previous Kages almost seemed like they were all smiling down at Sarutobi as he did his paperwork and sorted the civilian side to give it to them. The god of shinobi has returned to his post. Council room, why have you called this meeting, Sarutobi? Asked Danzo curiously. I have just received some information that one of our S-rank missing ninja will be returning to visit our lovely village and attempt to bring about its destruction. Sarutobi replied. Who would that be, Hokage-sama? Is it Itachi Uchiha? Minazuka asked in mild fear. Itachi was one of the best, and there was no doubt in her mind that he could very well destroy this village with the information that he held in his head. No, it happens to be my old student, Orochimaru. Shikaku Nara asked seriously, when will the invasion happen and who was the informant? He will be coming in this upcoming Chunin exams, and as for the informant, the person asked if they would remain anonymous. The professor answered. Then he thought, like hell, I am going to let you know about Naruto and his newfound powers, Danzo. I know that you have been wanting of his power as a Jinchuriki. He continued, all personnel except for Genin will be notified of this matter secretly. The Genin must not know anything to keep up appearances. Some of your children may be entering the exams, but I rather keep them in the dark than making them paranoid. Choza replied, but Orochimaru could, very well, infiltrate this village as a Genin. I know, but Orochimaru could have spies posing as Genin or even have Genin posing as one of our own, therefore I can have the Genin be notified of this information. Also, it is easier to pose as a Genin than a Chunin or Jonin since most of them come through me for missions and I have a photographic memory. We must lure him into a false sense of security. We must use it to our advantage. I know that it might sacrifice some of the lives of our young generation, but I have no choice and this matter cannot be avoided. This is not a democracy, Choza, the Hokage said firmly with his steely gray eyes. Everyone shuddered as they all knew that the professor was back. Danzo, I will give you authorization to activate A and B route, although you have already started without my consent. After we suppress this attack, I repeat, you will disable it completely and have them integrated in our shinobi program, or you will be replaced from your position. Is that clear? Hi, Hokage-sama. One more thing, Danzo, no more recruits. I understand that you care for Konoha as much as I do, but killing off their emotions by making them kill their brother or sister is not the way. Yes, emotions do bring hate, but they can also bring love and understanding. We may be weapons, but we are sentient, understand? Understood, Hokage-sama, Danzo said calmly. Excellent, now on to another matter. Suddenly the Hokage was interrupted by the civilian council barging in with Mida Haruno in front, and Sarutobi said, "Ah, right on time. What is the meaning of this, Sarutobi? Why weren't we, the civilian council, notified of this emergency meeting?" Mida cried out in anger while the shinobi council frowned at the blatant disrespect. To answer your question, Mida, I have recently decided that the civilian side will not be involved in shinobi matters at all, and also you all will appoint someone among your group to do your own paperwork. Kimiko, bring it in please. The secretary came in with a cart filled with papers up to the brim, and the Haruno declared, "You can't do this, the civilian council has always been involved with the shinobi for 4 generations. And I am changing that rule now. Discussing about disputes in businesses or marital affairs is not the concern of the Hokage unless one of the spouses is an active or retired shinobi. Now, as of this moment, you are denied access to anything that involves a shinobi, so I suggest that you all see your way out of this room along with your paperwork, or I will have the ANBU throw you out in the streets." "The people will not stand for this," one of the members said in protest. "Then I suggest that you tell the people that this is a dictatorship, and if they don't like it, they can suck my left testicle," Sarutobi said with a cold smirk. "Damn, Naruto has been rubbing off on me," he thought. Most of the shinobi laughed openly, chuckled or smirked at Sarutobi's choice of words, while the civilian council walked out sullenly. Then the Hokage turned back at them. "Now every patrol will be in groups of 5. No goes off alone. Got it?" The shinobi nodded and Sarutobi said, "Good, any questions?" Inoichi Yamanaka said, "You seem to have a lot of trust in this informant of yours, Sarutobi-sama. How do you know that this person is not lying?" "Trust me as I say this, Inoichi, my informant has no reason to lie to me at all, considering that person has people in this village that they care about deeply and can't bear to have innocent people die because of their poor decision to not reveal the information. If they are lying, then there is no reason not to be alert since it is Orochimaru. He is no laughing matter since I was the one who taught him. Anything else you would like to ask?" Nobody said anything and Sarutobi said, "Very well then, all of you are dismissed." After doing a D-rank mission, Kakashi looked up to see a hawk circling in the air and said to his team, "All right, team, you're dismissed for today. I have to report about today's mission." He disappeared in a puff of smoke and then Naruto turned to Sakura. "So how is training with Sasuke?" "A bit brutal, he is way faster than I am, but I realize that I have more power than him," she replied, and Sasuke absent-mindedly rubbed his jaw. Naruto smirked at the not-so-hidden gesture and said, "I see, well, I'd better go now, I got stuff to do." "Wait a minute," Sasuke said, "how come you never try to train with us or hang out?" Naruto raised an eyebrow. "Sasuke, you never hang out or anything, plus I don't train with you because I don't like to be used as a measuring tool at all. Also I don't like to intrude on anything that you two do at all, and you have been bitching for my techniques for the past week." Sasuke said with a scowl, "I know, but I need those jutsu to kill Itachi-san." I know, hell, everyone knows about it, but having a whole bunch of jutsu will defeat him. You practically go ballistic on anyone who has associated or knows information on Itachi, plus I beat you in a spar after just mentioning his name." "What do you know? You never lost anybody at all. My family is all but gone," the Uchiha shouted in anger. "What about your mother? She is still there. If you died fighting against him, I don't think that she would be able to bear it on her shoulders or even forgive herself for letting on the path of the Avenger. You are lucky that you even have a family. You don't know what it is like to not know about your parents. What they look like, how they were like, or even if they had loved you at all. If I had one choice to switch places with someone, it would have been you." Sasuke was surprised as Naruto walked away at that note, and Sakura cried out, "Naruto." She turned to Sasuke, "I hope you are happy, Sasuke. Naruto has done nothing but try to help you to become stronger by giving you hints. He is right, you do have a superiority complex. I wouldn't have gone so low to jab at the lack of family he has at all." She ran after Naruto and Sasuke thought to himself, "Why do I feel sad all of a sudden?" He looked at the disappearing Sakura for a moment, and with a hidden resolve, he moved to go after her. Meanwhile, the Jinchuriki moved towards his apartment, but then he let loose a small smile. "Konohamaru, Moegi, Udan, you three should know that a rock doesn't have eye holes or perfectly shaped corners." The 3 academy students came out from underneath their disguise and Konohamaru said, "As expected of my rival. I see that you 3 are wearing my goggles. Are you causing Iruka-sensei hell?" he asked. The 3 nodded and Moegi said timidly, "Naruto-kun, can you play ninja with us?" "Sure, Moegi-chan," Naruto said with a smile, and then a feminine voice cried out, "Naruto." The Jinchuriki and the kids turned to see Sakura. "Sakura. Are you okay, Naruto?" "Yeah, I am fine now." The Haruno noticed the 3 kids and knelt down to their level with a smile. "And who are you 3? Please don't ask, Naruto said, but it was too late. I'm Moegi, the sassiest kunoichi in the academy. I'm Udan, I like algebra. And I'm Konohamaru, the strongest academy student, and together, we are. The three said in unison while making a pose, the Konohamaru core. Naruto and Sakura's sweat dropped at it. But then Konohamaru asked, so, lady, do you want to play ninja with us? Sakura looked at Naruto, then back at them, sure, I have nothing better to do. The two genin played with the three students until Konohamaru accidentally bumped into a person. He was wearing a black jumpsuit with cat-like tips on the hood. He had purple face paint markings and a bandaged bundle on his back. His companion, the girl beside him, was wearing a gray skirt and had fishnet stockings on her left thigh and right ankle. She also had a large fan folded up on her back. The boy grabbed Konohamaru by the scruff of his neck and Naruto said in a stern, polite way, "Excuse me, sir, but I am going to have to ask you to put him down immediately." "No way," the boy answered, "he bumped into me and that is rude. He had to learn how to respect his elders the hard way and I abhor little shrimps." Immediately Naruto disappeared and the boy felt a kunai at his neck. "You shouldn't underestimate young ones, they could kill you in the future. Now put him down, and I will not ask a third time." The blonde woman thought to herself, I didn't even see him move. She slowly reached for her fan behind her and Sakura's voice said from behind as well, "I wouldn't move if I were you, miss." Naruto commented, "Well, that was fast, Sakura, you have been using weights." "The same ones as you, Naruto. Now where were we?" Yes, this should be the part where you put our little friend down on the ground gently." The blonde woman said, "Kankuro, put the brat down now." Kankuro set Konohamaru down, and the two Konoha genin moved by the kids just as Kankuro reached behind him to get the bundle off of his back until a pebble struck his hand. "Really not a good idea. You mind telling us what you are doing here in our village?" a person asked, and Sakura said, "Sasuke." Kankuro muttered out loud, "Nothing in this village but shrimps and squirrels, huh?" Naruto replied, "I suggest you shouldn't do anything stupid, Kankuro-san. Your teammate in that tree reeks of bloodlust, meaning he is not particularly happy with your hostility." Kankuro and his blonde companion's eyes widened with fear as they looked to see a red-haired genin with green eyes and black bags around his eyelids, standing upside down with his arms crossed and a gourd on his back. "Kankuro, stop this, you are an embarrassment to our village." "Be but Gaara." "Shut up or I will kill you," Gaara said in monotone. Kankuro flinched and replied, "You are right, I was out of line." The blonde apologized, "We are sorry, Gaara, really, really sorry." Sasuke thought, so he is the leader, he must be very powerful to have those two quaking in fear and has stealth rivaling Kakashi-sensei's own, but how did Naruto sense him at all? Gaara did as soon as Shunshin and appeared between his group. "Kankuro, Temari, come on, we are leaving now." Sakura said, "Wait." "No, Sakura, let them go, they are here for the Chunin exams," Naruto said to her. "Chunin exams?" she asked. "One of the two possible ways to get promoted from Genin to Chunin. You must show strategy, leadership and dedication by participating in a series of tests along with fighting different opponents from the ninja villages in the continent," Naruto stated. Temari smirked as she thought, wow, cute and smart. Sasuke asked as he jumped down, "How do you know about this, Naruto?" "Library, and the reason you two never knew about it is because Kakashi-sensei never bothered to tell us. I'm guessing that he might put us in the exams to test us as well as get out of his hair for a while." Gaara glanced at the two boys as he thought, it takes skill to hit Kankuro without him detecting it, and to get behind both of my siblings is even harder as well. Gaara spoke up suddenly, "You three, what are your names?" "I am Sabaka no Gaara." "Uchiha Sasuke." "Harino Sakura." "Uzumaki Naruto." "I hope to see you three in the exams," Gaara stated in monotone before he left along with his teammates. "He creeps me out," voiced Sakura. "I know, but there is something odd about him, something familiar," Naruto said, and then he spoke to Serenity. "Did you check their chakra, Serenity?" "Yes, Master Naruto, 2 of them are normal, but the one subject known as Gaara has higher chakra than normal. It is also similar to the Kyuubi's chakra, meaning that he is a Jinchuriki as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't confirm which one he holds." "That is fine. At least we know that he is a Jinchuriki." Then Sasuke looked at his teammates and said, "Naruto, Sakura, I am sorry for the way that I acted. I was out of line. Not knowing your parents is much the same as losing your family." Naruto nodded as he replied, "I accept your apology, Sasuke, and I am also sorry for antagonizing you as well. So for compensation, I guess one spar against you can't hurt." Sasuke smiled a bit. "I would like that very much, Naruto." "Hokage's office now, does everyone know what to do?" Sarutobi asked. The Jonin and Chunin nodded in agreement, while Sarutobi continued, "Excellent. Now, are there any nominations for this year's exams?" Kakashi, Kurenai, Guy and Asuma stepped forward. I, Kakashi Hataki, Sensei of Team 7, hereby recommend all 3 of my genin, Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno and Naruto Uzumaki, ready for the Chunin exams. What? No way. It is too soon for them. Iruka thought to himself in shock. I, Kurenai Yuhi, Sensei of Team 8, consisting of Hinata Hyuga, Shino Abirame and Kiba Inuzuka, recommend all 3 of my genin ready for the Chunin exams. I, Might Guy, the youthful Sensei of Team 9, Niji Hyuga, Tenten Mugawa and Rock Lee, ready for the Chunin exams. I, Asuma Sarutobi, leader of Team 10, consisting of Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara and Choji Akimichi, ready for the Chunin exams as well. Iruka cried out, "Lord Hokage, if I may speak, some of the genin that were mentioned used to be my students. I believe that it is too soon for them to be put in this exam. It is much too dangerous, especially with the known events that will occur during them." Hiruzen replied firmly, "I understand your concerns, Iruka, but it is not your decision to make. I may sound cold and uncaring, but some of the genin do need a wake-up call, some more than others. This is a perfect way to show it by putting them in the exams, and I know it is dangerous with Orochimaru and his spies lurking about in the exams, but we must keep up appearances." He turned to the jonin before him. "See me after the debriefing, so I can give you your slips. You are to notify your genin to report to the academy in room 315 for the first phase with their signed slip." "Hi, Hokage-sama." The next day, Team 7 appeared for their meeting, only for Kakashi to appear late again and gave them their slips to the Chunin exams. Elsewhere in the training grounds, a girl's voice was heard. "Hey, did you hear? Kakashi's team is going to appear in the Chunin exams." "No way, the Sharingan no Kakashi, they must be quite powerful then." "Humph, in the end, fate will dictate that we will be the victor." After Kakashi gave them the slips, Naruto moved to Tenshi's shop and the scarred man looked over to him. "Ah, Uzumaki-san, you are early today. Hold on for 1 second." Tenchi went in the back and Naruto took the time to window shop. He was already stocked on his primary weapons as well as his ninja tools and portable traps. Tenchi appeared in the front with Kitami in hand. "Here you go, Naruto-san." The Jinchuriki took back Kitami. She felt a bit lighter, yet more durable. "Thank you, Tenchi-san. Here is your payment as promised." "Keep it." Naruto was confused. "I don't understand." "I was glad to work on such a fine piece of work, and the Hokage already paid for it in advance, so don't worry about it." Naruto stared at him for a moment and then said, "Thanks." He sealed Kitami in its original position and he strode toward the training grounds while Tenchi thought, "Phew, he almost caught that lie. He is definitely your son, Minato." Training Area 3. I wonder," Naruto said as he unsealed Kitami and sent chakra into the blade. The black sword was lit ablaze with blue chakra. "Yep, he used a bit of chakra conducting metal. Looks like I can use it to send chakra out in an arc, or the destructive one for that matter. I will need to delve in my mind again to collect some again." The Jinchuriki thought, "But first." The blonde ninja quickly grabbed his kunai out of his holster and threw at the tree left of him. "Come on out, Tenten, was it?" Tenten appeared behind the tree and said, "How did you know that it was me?" "I never forget a chakra signature after I sense it. I know the reason that you are following me, and I am not going to disclose my personal business all because you recognize this weapon." "But why not? A genin fresh as you would be spilling their guts out from IWA and back if he or she had defeated one of the 7 shinobi swordsmen of the mist and lived." "My case is different because the truth is that I didn't defeat him at all." "What? Explain yourself." "I will say no more. Farewell, Tenten-san." He did a shunshin just as Tenten moved to grab him while shouting, "Wait." Then the weapons mistress cursed, "Damn it, I wouldn't be able to find him now and I will have to survive the Chunin exams to get more information from him. What does he mean that he didn't defeat him? Then how would that explain how he got that sword on his persona?" The young Kunoichi went home, empty-handed as Naruto watched her. "Persistent little Kunoichi, are you?" "Master, you do know that you will not be able to avoid the situation concerning over Nikoshi-san. She will wear you down." "Well, Serenity, let's pray and hope that she doesn't find me at all or where I live at. Now let's go over what we are going to help Hinata out for tonight." Academy. Naruto arrived at the academy the next morning and saw that Sasuke and Sakura were already there. "Hey guys, ready?" Naruto asked, and his fellow teammates nodded as they walked up inside. They walked up to the second floor to see a crowd on the floor. Instantly the three noticed the genjutsu on the sign. Sasuke was about to say something, but Sakura grasped his shoulder and whispered, "Don't say anything at all, Sasuke-kun. If you do, there will be more competition for us and needless battles as well." Sasuke frowned a bit, but understood her logic. He would have a better chance at fighting strong opponents much like Gaara and Naruto. Team 7 was able to slip past to go up the stairs, and the resident Jinchuriki glanced down to see Tenten and a bull-haired kid getting knocked around, but then he caught up with his team and met Kakashi at the door. Good, you are all here. If you weren't, then I would have been forced to bar you from taking the exams at all. All of you, protect yourselves and each other. Remember, with teamwork, you can defeat even a Jonin, the Hatake said. Team 7 nodded in unison and proceeded through to have most of the veteran genin stare at them with killing intent. This is laughable. I have felt more intimidated when I was training with Zabuza-sensei and Haku-chan. This is ridiculous, Naruto thought to himself. Sasuke-kun! A voice shouted out before the person came over to their position and glomped said object of affection. Ino, get off of me, Sasuke said. To her rival's surprise, Sakura didn't react to her touching Sasuke at all. Hello, Ino, how have you been since I last saw you? Forehead Ino said, a bit confused, what has happened to you? Sasuke replied, this is Sakura Harino, a kunoichi witch. Unfortunately for you, Ino, I can't say the same. Naruto smirked as he glanced over at the three and thought, good job on playing your part. Sasuke Ino slowly got off of the Uchiha and joined her teammates. Shikamaru was speaking with Naruto when the Yamanaka heir appeared. Naruto made his move, Ino. What, Naruto? She replied hotly. I take it, Sasuke acknowledges Sakura more than you, correct? What do you know? Simple, I know because I am the one that helped Sakura blossom from a fangirl to a kunoichi with skill close to Sasuke's level. Thus she has been in company with him, even training with him in his own home. Ino's hands balled up into fists as Naruto said, you envy her, don't you? You want the same thing as well. I can help you there, Ino. If you are serious about being a kunoichi and winning Sasuke's heart, you need to do two things only. What is that? Be your slave or something? Ino, I am not that kind of guy to do such a vile thing. I just want you to answer a simple question. Why do you like Sasuke so much? Ino said, because he is smart, cool, handsome and strong, but above all, he has experienced a lot of pain, causing him to shut everyone out. I feel that maybe I could be able to get through to him by being there for him. Your feelings are sincere. Fine, now here is the second thing. Meet me at training ground 47 after the exams or when we have a break and prepare for a long session. Then a silver-haired genin with round spectacles came over to them while saying, My, are you all a lively bunch of genin? I take it that you are all rookies, right? Kiba growled out, who asked you? Oh, forgive me of my manners, I am Kabuto Yakushi, and particularly you are pissing off the AIM ninjas behind you. They have quite short tempers, but now I will share my information with you since it is your first time, the fellow genin said to them. Do you mean that you have taken the exams before, Kabuto-san? Sakura asked. Yes, the exams are held once every 6 months. Unfortunately, I could never pass, and now this is my 7th try. Naruto thought, that was too convenient. Although he is a Konoha shinobi, he would be desperate on his 7th try. Nobody in their right mind would give out information so easily without trying to con newbies into a favor. You see, there are many teams that have arrived here, mostly from Kusa. Oto is a recent new village, so I don't have that much information on them, so you could ignore them for now. Sasuke asked, excuse me, but do you have information on individuals? Kabuto answered with a smile, yes. I want the stats on Sabaku no Gaara, Naruto Uzumaki, and that team that is staring at us over there, Sasuke said, pointing behind him. Everyone turned to see a Hyuga glaring at Hinata. Tenten was staring at Naruto, and the bull-haired kid's eyes flickered between Sasuke and Sakura. Right, Gaara has done 1 B rank and 4 C rank missions. His abilities are currently unknown, and rumor has it that he has never been injured at all. Your teammate, Naruto, has done the same number of missions as you and Sakura-san, and now he is being called the New Black Cross due to the sword that he acquired on one of your missions. His ninjutsu, taijutsu and kenjutsu are exceptional, but he hardly has any genjutsu ability. Kabuto drew 3 more cards. Niji Hyuga has done 20 D rank and 12 C rank mission. His taijutsu is the best since he is from the Hyuga clan, but his ninjutsu and genjutsu are non-existent. Rock Lee, same number of missions and his taijutsu is exceptional, but he also has no ninjutsu or genjutsu. Tenten Mugawa, same number of missions and her taijutsu is good as well. She is also a weapons specialist and known that she has never missed a target. Naruto thought as he glanced at her, so she is a weapons specialist, the mid-long range person in the group. Niji is close range as well as Lee. Kabuto stated, everyone here from the various countries are here to take the exams, and it is filled with a lot of talented youngsters. Hinata whispered, and makes you lose confidence. Sakura's eyes darted over the genin and said, so everyone here. Kabuto nodded, finishing her sentence. Yup, everyone like Gara-san and Likuan are elite genin from their reigning countries. Suddenly Naruto pushed Kabuto back and held one of the Oto ninjas at knife point with his teammates in a similar fashion with his Kage Bunshin. I suggest that you three can keep your bloodlust down a little longer, or I will have no choice but to discipline you three for misbehaving. The Oto ninja was surprised, and then he nodded slowly. Then Naruto released him and dispelled his clones just as a large white smokescreen appeared and dispersed quickly to reveal a scarred man in a black trench coat along with 3 squadrons of Chunin. Pipe down, maggots. Oto ninjas, like Blondie here said, I suggest that you three save your energy, or you will be disqualified from the exams. The bandaged one said, I apologize for my team, Proctor-san. We were merely excited. The man frowned. For some reason, I believe that I was more than that. This year is going to be bloody. The scarred proctor then shouted, everyone, listen up because I will not be repeating myself a second time. I am Ibiki Marino, your first proctor. You will be seating by the number that you draw from this box and sit at the appropriate seats, and then we will hand out the exams. If you try to switch your tile, you will fail immediately. Now form a single line. The genin complied and each of them took out a tile from the box that was held by a random Chunin. Naruto was happened to be seated by Hinata and Akusa Ninja. Hello, Hinata-chan. Hi, Naruto-kun, let's do our best, okay? Right. Oh, and Hinata, good to see you talking without stuttering. All of that training did pay off, huh? She smiled. Yes, it did. Then she thought, and maybe, just maybe, I will be able to confess my feelings for you now, Naruto-kun. Ibiki then barked out, alright, you worthless bastards, we must go over the rules before I allow you to turn over your test. Also, there will be no questions and you each start out with 10 points. If you miss one, then you have 9 and so on. Now if you are caught cheating, 2 points will be deducted, and after your 5 chances are done, you will be escorted from the room immediately. Now the second rule, this is a team test to see how much your team can hold up to 30 points. One of the Chunin commented, we have our eye on you guys. The crowd was a bit shaken, but Ibiki continued, realize that the weak ones who get caught are destroying themselves. As shinobi trying to become Chunin, be proud ninjas. Now on to the final rule, which is that if a teammate doesn't answer all questions correctly or loses all of their points, will fail along with their 2 teammates. Sakura thought, what? Ibiki stated, you now have 1 hour to complete the test. You may now turn over your tests and begin. There was a rustle of papers as the genin turned over their papers and began to write down their answers to the questions in complete silence. Ibiki watched over the genin with a careful eye until his eyes fell upon Naruto, who was staring right back at him. What the hell? The kid is done already with the test. But that is impossible. He is not using any genjutsu, nor has he cheated at all. He is supposed to be smart, but those questions are at least high Chunin level and have never been seen in the academy for over 7 years. The torture and interrogation head honcho thought to himself, is he a hidden genius? As if to answer, Naruto smirked at him in amusement. Pretty soon, teams were failed left and right, mostly from Konoha and somewhat Suna. After 45 minutes has passed, Ibiki called out, pencils down. Okay, now it is time to start the 10th question, but before that, let's go over the added rules to the test. Nearby building, Kakashi said lazily, it is sure a bit boring without my genin. Asuma said lazily with the unlit cigarette in his mouth, don't worry, Kakashi, you will be busy again soon. Why is that, Asuma? I heard that the proctor for the first portion of the exam is Ibiki Marino. What? Ibiki? They actually made that sadist a proctor? Who? Kurinai asked curiously. Oh, sorry, Kurinai, I forgot that you were recently promoted to Jonin a few years back. You see, Ibiki Marino is one of our best interrogators and prefers the mental approach. When dealing with him, he uses simple words and scenarios to make you torture yourself. Asuma explained. Back to the testing room 315, Ibiki stated, first, you must decide whether to take the question or not. Sasuke thought to himself, take the question or not? What does he mean by that? Temari asked, choose? Then what happens if we decide not to take it? Ibiki said as he chuckled lightly, well, now that is simple really. If you decide not to take it, then your points will be reduced to 0, and you will fail along with your 2 teammates. A random genin shouted, then what the hell is that supposed to mean? Of course, we will take the final question. Ibiki gave him a sadistic smirk, which brings us to our last rule. If you take the 10th question and just so happen to get your answer wrong, then that unfortunate genin will never be able to take this exam ever again. Kiba shouted with an accusing finger pointing at Ibiki, that is not fair. There are guys here that have taken this exam before. You don't have the power. Ibiki laughed at him, you guys are unlucky this year. It is my rules and my rules are law until you walk out of this room with the next proctor, but fear not, for I am giving you a way out. If you quit right now, you will have the ability to try again next year. Now let's begin the final question, but first, who wants to give up? Soon various genin began to quit due to the pressure, and when the room was almost completely empty, Ibiki asked, "Anyone else want to quit?" No one raised their hand or stood up. Then Ibiki thought, "Fine, then it is time to give them the final verdict and the shock of their lives. For those of you left over, you all have passed the first test." A collective what was heard throughout the room, and then Sakura asked, "But what about the 10th question?" Ibiki smiled at her. The 10th question was basically the choice to take it or not. Tamari shot out her question, "Then what about the other 9, what was their purpose?" Those questions were made for Chunin to answer, thus you genin couldn't answer them unless you were extremely smart. For the rest, it forced you to realize that the only way for you to pass was to cheat. We had 2 or more Chunin disguised as genin with the correct answers stationed nearby, and those who were caught by cheating poorly were escorted out, as you know. The torture and interrogation leader untied his Konoha bandana to display his bald, scarred head obscured with various screw holes and old burns. Because at times, information is more important than life and people will risk everything to get it. Sasuke thought to himself, the after effects of torture. Ibiki retied the bandana. If the enemy notices you, there is no guarantee that the information will be accurate. Information can be the greatest weapon for your country and teammates. Tamari said, "But I still don't understand the 10th question." The 10th question was based on a choice, a leap of faith if you call that, which could make you or break you. The ability to face any hardships and be perilous is the qualifications for a Chunin, so I wish you guys luck. Naruto gave him a smirk and Ibiki smirked back as he thought, "You are an interesting kid." Enko led the gen into a training ground, which had a circular fence with gates surrounding the edges and a sign that was written forbidden, only Chunin and Jonin allowed. The Tokubetsu Jonin turned to them and said, "Welcome to training ground number 44, the second stage of your exam. In Konoha, it also bears another name, the name of the Forest of Death." Naruto commented, "It doesn't really look like much to me." Enko trained her eyes on him and smiled, "You are a spirited one." The Jinchuriki instantly knew that she was going to try something, and the proctor popped out a hidden kunai from her sleeve quickly to throw it at Naruto's head. Naruto tilted his head to the side to avoid it completely. The knife embedded itself into the ground after cutting a strand of Akusa Genin's hair. Enko appeared behind Naruto with a kunai at his neck. "Ah, you didn't get cut, but all of the spirited ones are the ones that are killed first, spilling that red blood that I love so much." Then she turned with another kunai in hand as the Kusa Genin returned her weapon using her tongue. "Yeah, please don't creep up behind me like that. I have a tendency to kill people when they do that." The Genin replied, "I apologize, I just wanted to return your kunai. It cut my precious hair, and after seeing you in action my blood is just rushing with excitement." Hinata thought in fear, "Naruto-kun. What is up with this examiner? This is bad." Sakura thought, "And that Kusa girl too. Looks like we got some bloodthirsty ones in this test. Hee, this should be fun." Enko said with a smirk while Naruto thought, "You are the bloodthirsty one." Enko regained her composure. "Well, then before we start the exam, you have to sign these papers. There will be deaths in this one, and if you don't sign these, it will be my responsibility. I am going to explain the test, and then you can sign them. After that, each team will check in at that booth behind me." She handed Naruto the waiver forms and he passed them out as she said, "Simply put, you will attempt the ultimate survival. First, I will explain the area. There are 44 gates exactly, and there is a forest, a river and a tower in the center. Each gate is exactly 10 kilometers away from each other. During the survival in here, you will be asked to complete a certain task. Using the weapons and jutsu that you have, you will compete in a no-rules scroll battle. You will fight over these 2 scrolls, heaven and earth. Since there are 26 teams here, half will get heaven and the other will get earth. To pass this test you must reach the tower with both scrolls." Sakura muttered, "So half of the teams will definitely fail because of this requirement." Enko said, "There also is a time limit. The test will last for 120 hours. For those of you who hate math, it equals up to 5 days. Ino protested loudly, 5 days? Choji said, "What about food?" Enko said, "You are on your own. The forest is filled with food. You just have to watch out for the man-eating beasts, poisonous plants, poisonous insects, etc., and 13 teams passing is not likely. As the days progress, the time to rest is shorter and the distance to the goal is farther. Plus the area is filled with enemies, you will not get that much sleep. So you can fail not only for losing the scroll, but the harshness of the course." She smiled. "Now let's talk about what will disqualify you first, those who don't make to the tower within the 120-hour time limit. Second, those who lose a teammate, or have their teammate killed. As a rule, there is no quitting in the middle of the exam, so if you are going to be don't sign those papers. You will be in the forest for 5 days, and also you can't look inside the scroll until you make it to the tower. Shikamaru asked, what happens if you do? Enko said, why spoil the surprise when you can dare to find out yourselves? Chunin are asked to handle classified information. This is to test your trustworthiness. That is it. Exchange your 3 forms for your scroll, and then choose a gate to get ready for the start. Naruto smirked as he already signed his on the spot while Enko was explaining the rules. Enko said, oh, and a final word of advice, just don't die. Just then a random Chunin came out from the targ to state that it was about time to exchange the scrolls to the teams. As the teams went to get their scrolls, the Uchiha thought as he watched, I see, so you can't tell which team gets which scroll or who on the team is carrying the scroll. The times that I wish I had a Byakugan. It is just exactly what Ibiki said. In this test we will be risking our lives fighting for information. Everyone is an enemy, and everyone is determined. There will be killing. Enko looked around. Hee. Looks like the meaning of the signing that form has sunk it. Soon the genin teams were placed at different gates to go through, and Enko said, everyone, follow an instructor and go to your gates. We will begin the second phase in 30 minutes. As 30 minutes passed, Enko declared the start, and the genin raced through their gates. Somewhere in the forest, there was a team in matching spandex suits that were watching Team 8. Kiba stated, so basically everyone is headed to the tower, right? Then setting traps near there would be best. Akamaru quietly barked and Kiba said, so they are here already, eh? Where? Akamaru shifted his head to the left and upwards. One of the spandex Konoha ninjas said, heck, kids just standing there out in the open. Do they want to be found? Looks like they have sensed us, but they don't know where exactly we are. Abruptly he started to shiver and one of his teammates said, hey, what's wrong? You are turning blue. Then he noticed something out of the back of his shirt. What the hell is that? Suddenly giant leeches dropped from the canopy and fell to the ground. Konoha jumping leeches will sense all life forms and attack in a group. 5 minutes of sucking and you will be shipped off to the next world. Realizing that and setting traps where the enemy might escape to. 1 down. Suddenly the trap that the Konoha group was under activated and they screamed loud. Enko heard them and commented, well, looks like they started already. Team 7 okay, now who is holding the scroll? Naruto asked. Sakura answered logically, it should be the middleman in terms of strength. Here in Konoha, it is established that Sasuke-kun here is the strongest out of our group, therefore underestimating you, Naruto. You should hold on to the scroll while Sasuke holds a decoy, just in case something happens. She turned to Sasuke, do you agree with this plan? The Uchiha smirked, not bad, Sakura, I agree to this plan. Besides, I just want to fight strong opponents, and in this exam he looked at Naruto as he continued, you have no choice but to fight me in the exam if you want to become a Chunin. The Uzumaki sighed, alright, Sasuke, let's just get through this part now and be alert for anything. Then he thought, there is no doubt in my mind that Orochimaru will definitely appear in this part for Sasuke. I just hope my plan works. Serenity said, actually, Naruto-sama, he is already here. What? When? That Kusa genin that returned Enko-san's kunai confirms that it was Orochimaru by a chance of 78%. I will take that chance, how couldn't I have noticed that factor? So it is that Kusa team we have to watch out for, but no doubt that display earlier will make Sakura and Sasuke wary of him. As they ran through the forest, now what is the plan? Sakura asked. Simple, we find a team, take their scroll and get to the tower, easy enough. Sasuke said, and Naruto glanced at him, you just happened to glance at which team has which kind of scroll. No, I called in a favor from Hinata. She used her Byakugan and told me that she found 2 AIM teams who had the Earth scroll we need and 4 Konoha teams who had Heaven before she was caught. What did you give her in exchange? Sasuke smirked, some information on her cousin. In reality, it was Naruto's likes and dislikes that he gave to Hinata, and Naruto commented, good thinking, Sasuke. Then he tensed up and whispered to his teammates, heads up, we are not alone. Suddenly shuriken and saban were thrown at the 3 teammates, who scattered about momentarily to see that it was an AIM team. Sakura looked over at Sasuke for confirmation and saw him give her the slightest nods. Naruto activated his gloves while the leader of the AIM team spoke up, I hope you don't mind us taking your scroll, kids. Sakura retorted casually, you mind giving us a name, Aji-san? Then she thought to herself, Naruto must have rubbed off of me. I am called Shigure, these are my teammates, Bide and Midar. You will pay for your insolence, little girl. He shouted as he threw up his umbrella, then flipped through hand signs, Ninpo, Joro Saban. Doton, Dorodoma. Naruto slammed his hands on the ground and an earth dome quickly came over Team 7, protecting his teammates from the Saban. Okay, Sasuke, Shigure is yours. Sakura, you take the one called Midar and I will take the short one. The 2 nodded and Naruto released the dome from the back, letting Sasuke and Sakura discreetly enter from the back, just as the AIM team were coming around. Sasuke kicked Shigeru in the face while Sakura sent a kunai at Midar, who dodged it. Naruto burst from his earth prison and fired blasts of flame at Byaru, who was forced to dodge, and then pulled out hidden swords from his 2 umbrellas. The Jinchuriki dodged a thrust from his left one and ducked under a swipe with the right one to give Byaru a strike to the stomach. Byaru stumbled back, clutching his stomach, and then Naruto gave him 2 punches across the face, one on both sides, and gave him a savage roundhouse kick to the head, knocking Byaru into a tree and knocking him unconscious. As Byaru slumped to the ground, Naruto checked his pouch to see that he was carrying some ninja wire, AIM issued kunai and shuriken along with some scrolls. He took the ninja wire and tied up Byaru securely, but enough to that he wouldn't be able to get out for at least a few minutes. With Sakura, she was in a knife/taijutsu match with Midar. She blocked a swipe at her midsection and then returned the favor with a well-placed kick to the chest. She sprang at him to stab his arm, but the AIM nin sent his feet up in the air, catching her chin. "You will not beat me that easily, little girl," he declared with a smirk. Sakura spat out blood from her cut lip and launched herself at him. Foregoing his swords, the AIM nin flipped through hand seals as he shouted, "Suiton, Suikoden." The water from the lake behind him sprang out over him towards Sakura, but to his surprise, the water went through her. "A bunshin? When did she?" he said, but then he saw Sakura coming at him with a punch, causing his head to snap to the side, then she slammed her knee into his stomach. Midar stumbled back, holding his stomach, and Sakura didn't relent to give him an uppercut, making his head snap up. Finally, the Haruno performed a sabat kick to his chest, making Midar gasp for air. Next, the pink-haired Kunoichi used the ring of her kunai to knock out her opponent, sending into his temple. The AIM nin fell into the bliss of unconsciousness. Sakura also searched to find the same equipment as Naruto did, but she also found a set of twin Fuma Kodachi within a scroll, making her smirk, and kept them as she tied up Midar with his own wire as the Jinchuriki dragged his downed opponent to her position. "You found the scroll?" Sakura shook her head no and looked over at Sasuke, who had the upper hand. "Well, let's put them together, so we can watch Sasuke's entertaining fight." With Sasuke, the Uchiha dodged under Shigeru's kick and then caught his other one to twist it, making the 19-year-old fall to the ground, then grappled with him by sitting on his back and pulling his leg back. Shigeru struggled as he grimaced in pain, then he swung his elbow into the Uchiha's side in rapid succession, causing Sasuke to lose his grip, and the AIM ninja flipped him over, but Sasuke rolled to the side and stood up quickly. The two circled each other as they drew their respected weapons. Sasuke took out 2 kunai while Shigeru unsheathed a hidden sword to put it in a reverse grip. "You are pretty good, but you will not defeat me with that level of skill," Shigeru commented, and the Uchiha smirked. "Then it looks like I will have to take it up a notch." Sharingan. Immediately, Sasuke's onyx eyes transitioned into a dark red with 2 tomos surrounding his pupils in both eyes. Shigeru narrowed his lone eye. "And Uchiha, I thought that accursed clan were all wiped out, but no matter, at least I can reply the kindness that one of your clan member did when he took my eye away from me when I was 10. In my opinion, I think it suits you better. Women these days dig battle scars, plus it does attract attention away from that ugly mug of yours." Shigeru growled in anger as he launched his attack by swiping at Sasuke's head, but the Uchiha used his 2 kunai to block. Then the rain ninja sent a punch to Sasuke's face, but his Sharingan caught it, and he craned his head to the side to dodge. Next, Shigeru went for a roundhouse kick, but Sasuke ducked under it and sent his weapons at Shigeru's head, but the AIM nin leaned his head back and the Uchiha smirked as he gave him a left-right combo to the chest, then another combo to his face, and ended it with a jumping kick to the face. "Eat it," Sasuke said with a smirk. "Why use Suiton, Suishoha?" Sasuke's smirk disappeared as the lake sent out a huge wave from behind. He jumped in the air as he flipped through hand signs, Katan, Gakaku no Jutsu. The fireball sprang from his mouth and evaporated some of the water that was coming at him. "I have got you!" Shigeru shouted as he was poised to kill him, but the Uchiha immediately used Kawarimi and appeared behind the rain ninja to land a chop to the back of his neck. Well, that was slightly entertaining. Soon the 3 AIM ninjas were left on the ground, unconscious and tied up. "Did you get their scroll?" Sasuke asked. "No, I believe that Shigeru has got it," Sakura said, and the Uchiha checked the AIM nin for the scroll to find it, and said, "Alright, now all we have to do is get to the tower." Suddenly Naruto felt the wind stinging against his cheek and a large wind came through to blow them away, but all 3 of them stood their ground. "Oh, I wanted to blow all of 3 of you away. Oh, well, I may as well play with you before I take your scroll and your life," a feminine voice said from above. Team 7 looked up to see that it was the mysterious Kusa nin with the long tongue. "Shit, it's Orochimaru. Damn, I didn't think that he would get here that fast. He must be here for Sasuke's Sharingan," Naruto thought. Or he could be after you. Naruto, you do have me inside of you, augmenting your abilities. Serenity added. The thing is, why didn't he grab any from the massacre happened? If he had implanted them like Kakashi-san did, it would have sapped his reserves. He would need to be an Uchiha to use it to the full extent. My guess that he either has the power to possess Sasuke's body or needs to do an experiment on Sasuke to imprint his being into Sasuke's brain. This is also the factor that he would need a lot of blood to incorporate into his system. Either way, he has to take him away from the village to do either of those. The female Kusanin chuckled evilly as she pressed her finger on her eyelid while she launched her killing intent, freezing Team 7 in place as they each saw their own gruesome deaths. Master, it is an illusion. Fight it! Serenity cried out in alarm. The Jinchuriki complied and he was able to move a bit, but Sakura wasn't used to it. Due to Itachi's use of Tsukiyomi, Sasuke was able to move and override the killing intent with pain to grab Sakura, and Naruto followed after him. What is she? Murmured Sasuke, a monster. Sasuke, we have to make a stand. What? No way. You saw what she did to us back there. There is no way that we win this battle. We've no choice but to fight. She will just pressure us until we are dead. We must take a stand against her, and come on. Fear didn't stop us from taking on Zabuza, right? Sasuke bit his lip a bit as Naruto continued. I am terrified of her power as well, but I am terrified of losing my teammates, my friends, to death. I have already lost someone to its clutches and I will not let that happen again, now when I am around. Sakura's eyes fluttered a bit and snapped open as she shouted, Look out! The three of them moved in opposite directions to avoid a snake from swallowing them whole. Sasuke threw shuriken into the snake's mouth, ripping its insides to shreds, and it fell dead. Wait to give yourself away, Orochimaru, Naruto said. Oh, you have heard of me, Naruto-kun? You are the only one who can summon snakes that big beside our proctor, Anko Mitarashi. What do you want? Orochimaru burst from the snake's carcass, dripping with slime, and ripped the skin off his face to reveal his pale face with purple markings and slitted yellow eyes. Isn't it obvious? I want Sasuke Uchiha and the power of his Sharingan. Sasuke replied, I am sorry to disappoint you, but I am strictly, very strictly, and as for the Sharingan, over my dead body. Orochimaru chuckled, I need you alive for that. It seems that you need some motivation. Instantly Naruto acted by throwing a flash ball, which blinded the snake Sannin momentarily, and Naruto activated his gloves to send a flaming ball in the air, which exploded. Anko looked up and said, Go! Quickly! The ANBU will be there in 5 minutes, we must provide support. The flames came down at Orochimaru, who dodged them much like a snake, and Naruto came in forward on him to stab him with a kunai. Orochimaru gurgled, but then he turned into mud, and Naruto thought, a Doton Kage Bunshin? He turned to look behind him to receive a kick to the face, and Orochimaru said, You are in the way of my ambition. Sakura flipped through hand seals as she shouted, Katan, Housenka no Jutsu. She spat out small fireballs, and the snake Sannin deftly dodged them only to get Naruto's foot in his face. You will not get your hands on Sasuke. Sasuke-kun needs my power in order for him to kill his brother, Orochimaru stated. Sakura glared at the man. That is completely bullshit. Nobody can give the power to defeat a Jonin without some kind of recuperation of a deal. Whatever do you mean? Don't play dumb with us. Naruto shouted in anger. Admit it, you could have infiltrated Konoha during the Uchiha massacre to implant some Sharingan into your eyes, since there were plenty of them, but that would sap your chakra since you knew Kakashi's predicament. So somehow you have found some way to make yourself an Uchiha by needing Sasuke or Itachi's blood. The Jinchuriki smirked. I bet you were too weak to get Itachi's own because he is stronger than you, so why should Sasuke go to you when you can't even defeat Itachi yourself? Orochimaru glared at Naruto and said, I am going to deal with you first. He sprang at Naruto, but suddenly kunai stopped him from getting any closer. That is far enough, Orochimaru. The snake Sannin glanced up to see 3 squads of ANBU in front of him, and one of them asked, What the hell are you doing here? Sightseeing. Regardless, you are wanted for treason, kidnapping, and unlawful experimentation. As the captain of the ANBU, I place you under arrest. Sorry, but I still got my get-out-of-jail-free card. The snake Sannin backed up into the branch and melded with it while the leader shouted orders, Squad Alpha and Beta, search for him, do not let him escape. Squad Theta, escort Team 7 to the towers if they have their scrolls. Hi! Naruto recognized one of them, Nico-san. Hello Uzumaki-san, does your team have both scrolls? Yes, we do. Good, then you will pass on the next phase, let's go. Tower Squad Theta and Team 7 appeared at the tower without difficulty, and there was the Hokage standing. Report. The old man barked out. The ANBU team knelt before him and Nico reported, Hokage-sama, your informant was correct. Orochimaru has revealed himself and it appears that his primary objective is to possess the Sharingan from Sasuke Uchiha. I see, so he had finished that jutsu, Hiruzen said. What jutsu? Sasuke asked, and the Hokage said to him, I suppose I should tell you three about my student. After Orochimaru's parents died, he became obsessed of immortalizing himself. He delved in researching of making a jutsu that would allow to live forever in a sense. He was working on a jutsu that overtakes a person's soul and supplanting his own, thus taking over the body along with its special abilities. Sasuke was disgusted with the idea and said, Naruto mentioned that Orochimaru did the same thing with my brother, but it backfired and it seems that he was very pissed about it. The Hokage said, maybe the Sharingan when it is fully mature can negate the effects. I would isolate you, Sasuke, but I am afraid that Orochimaru would do something to the village and placing Sasuke in open like nothing happened may place you at high risk. Sasuke, I am afraid that I will have to restrict your movements to a minimum, and have you trained as well as watched by Kakashi regardless if you pass or not in this next phase. He turned to Naruto and Sakura. Naruto, Sakura, I am going to ask you to keep quiet about what I have said in these past minutes. Sakura, if you pass this part, I will have you trained by Anko Mitarashi and Kurenai Yuhi. Naruto, your trainer will be coming here as well. Team 7 nodded and Sarutobi said, your team will be watched until the end of the second phase. No questions asked? Again, they nodded and they were escorted to a room with Squad Theta outside of their door. Room Team 7 sat in silence as they replayed the events in their heads until Sasuke said, we have to get stronger. Sakura stated, yes, but over the span of a few years we can't exactly protect each other let alone ourselves. We can try, Naruto said. Mikoto-san and Kakashi can protect themselves. Besides, Orochimaru wouldn't dare to approach Sasuke around Kakashi and Mikoto-san. Especially a mother trying to protect her child is a dangerous person to fight. As for me and Sakura, we are obstacles to getting to you because you are our friend. Sakura said, Yuhi-san is the sensei of Team 8 and I have heard that she is the best at using genjutsu while Anko Mitarashi you mentioned that she summons snakes, right, Naruto? Was she taught by Orochimaru? Yes, she was the only one that has been taught by Orochimaru and because that she is not well liked because of that factor. But on the flip side, she is the only one who knows how Orochimaru works, his techniques, mannerisms, etc. Sasuke said, like me, he specializes in ninjutsu and genjutsu, so the only way to stop him from using those is to work mostly on our taijutsu. To keep up with his hand seals and moves, I will need to upgrade my Sharingan to the 3rd tier in order to reverse the effects. Naruto stood up. Then that settles it. We will get stronger after the exams are finished, and when we meet Orochimaru again, we will defeat him. He put his hand out and said, let's make it official. Sasuke and Sakura put their hands over Naruto's own as they each made a silent promise to become stronger. The three of them took a rest, each of them with a kunai under their pillow in case that should someone slip into the room. Hokage Tower Orochimaru has made his move. I want everyone to be alert for anything. One of the villages may be in cohorts with Orochimaru since we know that he doesn't have enough manpower to destroy this village. Sarutobi said to the Jonin and Chunin. Forest of Death Curses. I was so close, that damn Jinchuriki interfered with my plans to get Sasuke. Orochimaru said angrily, Kabuto. I want you to keep an eye on Naruto Uzumaki and when you get the chance, kill him. I will have Sasuke's body and the destruction of Konoha during our invasion with Suna. Kabuto bowed lowly, it shall be done, Lord Orochimaru, I will take care of everything. 4 days later, the Rookie 9, along with Team Gai, Team Kabuto, Team Dosu, and Team Gaara stood before their senseis, proctors and the Hokage himself. First off, for the second test, congratulations on passing, Anko said, and then she thought to herself, I never would expect 24 of them to be here. I was expecting single digits actually, but at least I cut them in half practically. Gai stated, your team is not that bad, Kakashi. Maybe they got lucky, but with my team around, getting any further is nigh impossible now since from now it's about real skill. Well, with youth, there are sweet times and sour times, Kakashi? Huh, oh, I'm sorry, did you say something? Damn you, Kakashi. You make me so mad. Why do you always have to act so cool? For so many to be here and most of them are rookies, Sarutobi thought, and then he whispered as he looked at their senseis. No wonder they nominated them all. Anko spoke up. Now Hokage-sama will now explain the 3rd test. Listen carefully.